Illawarra and McDonald's.
What an atmosphere!
Triple M rocks footy.
It's what rugby league's all about. Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
And it's a very good evening. Friday night rugby league kicks off with this one. The Gold Coast Titans taking on the St George Illawarra Dragons. Well, joining me in commentary, my old mate from Triple M Breakfast, Aaron Woodsy Woods. How are you, mate?
I'm going good, Maroon. This is the favourite part of my week. Friday, 6 o'clock. Get to commentate with you and get to talk a lot of rugby league to all our listeners out there.
And you know, I gave you that stat this morning, and you couldn't help yourself. Titans have never won at Wynn Stadium. Titans have never won. That's amazing, isn't it?
It is an amazing stat, but it's also a stat that you just want to pick apart with the Gold Coast Titans, because the side that you just love giving it to, isn't it?
Oh, I think they are, in all honesty, the greatest conga line of underachievers in the history of Australian sport.
It's like they're almost there, but they just let you down to the last hurdle.
Like last week against it, they'd won 2, they're playing the Dolphins, and they get beat.
Honestly, I tipped them last week. I had all faith that they were going to come out and destroy him. Poor old Desi Hasler. I know he's a hard-ass coach, and he tries to implement a lot of defensive tactics. But they're a side that just can't do it for 80 minutes, aren't they, Maroon? And they frustrate the living daylights out of you, don't they?
Yeah, it would be very hard to be a Gold Coast Titans supporter, because you only ever hear, and I think we've discussed this before, Woodsy, people say, oh, you know, they could make the 8. But it's not that hard to make the 8. You know, I think
it's very hard. Look at the West Tigers, mate. They've struggled since 2011.
Well, yeah.
Sides do tend to struggle, and a lot of other sides around them do get better, but they're just an inconsistent side. So you can tip them 1 week, and you think they're going to win. You have all the faith in the world in them, but they come out and let you down like they did last week against the Dolphins.
Yeah, well, I hope they do well tonight.
Who have you tipped tonight, Maroon?
I've taken them. I've tipped them because I have this theory.
That'll do me.
I have this theory, Woodsy, that if a team goes close, and loses, then they're due to get absolutely blown off the park. So St George Illawarra, yes, they've beaten Melbourne, but they should have beaten South. They probably should have beaten Canterbury, and they should have beaten Para. They are due to get absolutely minced.
And let's just say, a week with Shane Flanagan, after a Golden Point loss, Zach Lomax, who didn't want to be at the club, went to another club to play centre, but was playing wing. He would have been filthy all week to be around, and I dare say the boys who want to come out there and put a good performance in there, so hopefully they don't get grumpy flannel all next week.
Titans, no Tino, no Kieran Foran, no Keanu Kinney, no Jojo Fafita, and no Khan Pereira. Obviously, Tino's suspended. Who are you tipping?
I'm going to go the Dragons, definitely down at Wynn Stadium. And the stat that you mentioned to me this morning, Maroon, they've never won at Wynn Stadium. And looking at the coverage of the players now, the Dragons jersey, I think they're wearing the traditional Illawarra Steelers one.
Yeah.
It is an absolutely beautiful jersey, and I think you'll be happy because you can see the numbers bright and nice and clear.
I can see the numbers beautifully, and I spent 10 years living in the Gong, going to watch the Steelers play when I was working at Wynn. It was lovely, and it's great to see the jumper back. Here come the Titans now out onto the field, and a couple of players missing. De Groot's the fullback. The wingers are Francis, and number 22 is Alan Fitzgibbon. Kelly and Filthy Phil Sami in the centres. Brimson and Campbell are the halves. Mo Fortuaka and Regan Campbell-Gillard up front with Verrills. Then Haas and Fermor in the back row with Chris Randall. And then, of course, Arama Howe on the bench with David Fafita, Jolliffe and Brock Gray. And they're coached by the great Des Hasler. So how have they fared so far this year? Well, they've won 2 and lost 2. So, you know, that's not too bad. This is round 6. They've, they're in there with a shot. Johnny Cross is out there, one of the Steelers veterans, John Cross, leading the Dragons out onto the field. And here they are at Wollongong, where a wonderful facility for rugby league. Gutherson at fullback, Sloan and Tuapolotu, and then Sully and Val Holmes in the centres. Kyle Flanagan and Ilias are the halves. Toby Couchman and Dave Clemmer up front with Damien Cook. Then we've got Jaden Sewer and Jack DeBellin. And I think from what you're telling me, Woodsy, Dylan Egan's going to start, and Leilua's going to start on the bench.
Yeah, that's probably the only change they've made. You thought Flano might have brought the hook out of last week's loss, but he's stuck solid. He's obviously moved young Dylan Egan back to the back row to start, for his first start of his NRL career. He's a really good talent. When I was down there, I've never met a kid more fitter than him. He's just so tough. He's a local junior from down there as well, so really happy to see him get a start tonight.
Okay, we've got Brent Reid on the sideline. We'll go to him as soon as we can, but it's a beautiful, clear night in the city of Wollongong. And Gold Coast are running to the point. Kembla end. They kick off. Ilias takes the ball from the kick-off. David Clement charges forward, and he's brought down by David Fafita. So David Fafita has started the game as well. And he'll get up and play it back. And now in the traditional Illawarra Steelers jersey, and it's Moses Sully to take the tackle. Then Cook. Then it comes back toward the centre of the field to Couchman. And Couchman's going to take the tackle. Brought down there by Chris Randall. Played to Cook again. Jack DeBellin's got it now. DeBellin is met by Mo Fortuwaka. 11 their own side of the halfway line on tackle 4. Now Cook out of dummy half. Great run from Damien Cook. And then brought down just inside Gold Coast Titans territory. Gutherson. Flanagan from 41 metres out. That's a very high kick. And coming down, and they fly high, and bringing it down is Filthy Phil Sami. Gets up and plays it back to Campbell, and then they send it inside to Fermor. But 1 minute gone, and both sides, Woodsy, that do need a win.
Yeah, they both need a win. Obviously, poor start last week. Dragons going down at Golden Point. But a bit of a warning shot for the Gold Coast Titans middle forwards. Damien Cook looks like he's ready to have a good game tonight. He's come out. He's got a couple of good yards, a couple of quick play balls. They're going to play him straight through the middle tonight, Maroon.
Now, there is some changes that have come through late that I need to get to. But while I've got the opportunity, let me go down to the sideline. For Bob Jane, it's Brent Reid.
Hello, boys. As you said, it's a beautiful night for footy down in Maroon, this beautiful stadium. The crowd's not great. It's sort of slowly building up now, but it's not a great crowd. And I'll tell you what, the Dragons got a pretty stiff breeze behind them in this first half, so they'll want to take advantage of that with the Ilias kicking game. Hopefully they can and give these fans who come out something to cheer about.
Good on you, Reedy. And this has just come through late. That Bo Fermor starts in the centre. Sami goes to wing. Alan Fitzgibbon drops off. So nice of us to let us know 10 seconds after the game has started. Thank you very much. Here's Moses Sully. I promised my wife I won't whinge all weekend, so that's it. I stop whinging right now. Getting up to play it back. Cook's at dummy half. Short side, Jaden Sewer. And it's 0-all on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. 2 minutes and 15 seconds gone in this game. Cook, short side. Ilias from 40 metres out. High and deep. And up goes the fullback and takes it beautifully. De Groot. And Woodsy, not a massive crowd on hand. I'm always saying that Wollongong don't get enough quality NRL games, but there's not a big crowd there tonight.
Yeah, really quarter, but these ones are the hard ones because it's a 6 o'clock kickoff. A lot of people finish work around 6, so hopefully it does build throughout the night. But Titans very passive defensively to start this game, and Dragons really winning the field position battle.
Now it's with the Gold Coast halves. Got the pass back to Campbell. Campbell goes up the middle. He's met by David Clemmer, and he's brought down about 10 his own side of the halfway line on tackle 4. Then it goes to David Fafita, and Fafita goes to the halfway line. That's a good run for Fafita. Just inside, or 5 metres inside Steelers territory. Back then for Campbell on the halfway line to kick down. Fiddle! That's a very awkward bounce. And luckily, Flanagan goes back there to clean it up for the St George Illawarra Dragons. And there are a number of Titans players not available for this game, as we said. Jojo Fafita, Kieran Foran, Keanu Kinney, Khan Pereira, Tino Fasumala Awi suspended. So, I mean, they've got their woes as far as players missing. Tuapolota plays it back to Flanagan, and then it comes back into Couchman, who's 10 his own side of the halfway line, and tackle 4 is the call. Then Cook gets into dummy half. Left side now Flanagan, over the halfway, quick hands, they throw it behind Christian Tuapolotu, and it goes over the sideline. So, I mean, he takes that ball there, anything could have happened.
Yeah, it was a good option on the short side from Kyle Flanagan. Had 4 attackers or 3 defenders. But it just looks like the outside men weren't up flat with him. If they were nice and flat in Valentine Holmes and Dylan Egan, there's an opportunity there, but they were just a couple of metres behind. And then Valentine Holmes tries to pass it onto Tuapolotu on the outside, which is just behind him. It goes over the sideline.
For Bob Jane T-Marts, let's go down to you, Brent Reid.
Maroon, you mentioned those guys who were out. I actually had a long chat with Kieran Foran before the game, and he's hoping to be back in 2 weeks, and that'll give Desi a bit of a headache because he's playing Campbell and Brimson the halves at the moment. There's some talk Kieran might play the Dylan Walker role for the Titans, so that'll be really interesting. But 2 weeks he's away.
Okay, Campbell and then General de Groot. Westpac red zone. He's 19 metres out from the Dragons line on tackle 3. Played to Fermor, sent across to Campbell. Campbell got the pass away to Regan Campbell-Gillard, who's 15 metres out from the St George Illawarra Dragons line. And at the play the ball, they'll go left this time for Campbell, and Campbell can't get away from Jackie DeBelling, who brings him down on tackle 5. 5 gone, 0-all on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. Verrills out a dummy half, got it to Campbell-Gillard, ball comes loose, picked up by De Groot. He goes in under the posts. I suspect perhaps, Woodsy, a little bit of obstruction.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure. The referee, Chris Butler, he's given a try to your man De Groot, but it looked like one of those ones. They made a good contact. I think it was Dave Clemmer on Regan Campbell-Gillard. It was just it was a poor hospital pass from the hooker in Sammy Verrills to Campbell-Gillard, and he sort of knocked it back. It's knocked back, that's fine. As the group picks the ball up, this will be a try. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no obstruction there. It's got the Dragons players just see the ball on the ground, and they all just completely stopped, waiting for a call from the referee. But I think this is fine. I don't have a problem with this, Maroon.
Okay, so you don't see obstruction on Cook trying, or one of them there trying to get to De Groot?
I'm not watching the replay. I don't think it's enough. Obviously, Campbell-Gillard, he drops the ball, and you got Verrills that's standing through there, but he doesn't obstruct anyone. They don't have to move around him. I just think the players have stopped here. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Looking for a potential knock on here, please.
Oh, I'm looking for a knock on.
Potential knock on. Okay. Harvey Norman replay. And they'll probably take this one off the Gold Coast Titans. Let's have a look here. Regan Campbell-Gillard.
Regan Campbell-Gillard is dragging the ball towards the Dragons' dead ball line.
Yep.
He's facing the other way. I don't know how's this a knock on.
Well, he's facing toward the St George Illawarra try line
with his back. So his back's facing the way he should be running.
He gains possession, and then the ball is touched by David Clemmer. This is a knock on.
Knock on. No
Decision
try.
made.
No try. Harvey Norman replay. Cook with the world's best brands at Harvey Norman. Get 10% off selected AEG kitchen appliances and 10-year warranty at Harvey Norman.
Yeah, you're probably happy with that. They made the right call there. We were looking for the obstruction, but at the end of the day, it was a knock-on before the obstruction.
So 0-all, Beacon Trade scoreboard. 6 minutes gone at @MM_NRL. The Mess says, Woodsy, how was your daughter's Easter parade today?
Oh, I've got a story for you, Maroon. I got out of the breakfast radio this morning, got there, and she talked it up last night like she wanted me to come and watch her the hat that she made. And I get there and she tells me to go away. She goes, beat it.
There's Gutherson, and then Egan, and then Flanagan, and then it goes to Cook. Well, it's not the first time a female's told you to beat it.
And it won't be the last.
39 metres out from the Gold Coast Titans line. It's played to Gutherson. It's given to Clemmer. And those expert comments from Aaron Woods are thanks to Seabar Super. Clemmer plays it to Cook. Short side it goes to Ilias. The kick is high. The kick comes down. It's batted back by Sloan. It's still alive, but it's a Gold Coast Titans ball. And still 0-all.
Yeah, they're really winning the field position, but just their last play options, their kicks are probably falling just 10 metres short before creating an opportunity. So if they can just really work on their last play option, they're going to really make the Titans pay.
Now this is the filthy man, Phil Sami, and he'll get up and play it back. And there's a penalty, and it goes to the Gold Coast Titans. So this is 15 metres inside Gold Coast territory. And so they find touch about 5 metres inside the... I keep going to call them the Steelers with those jumpers on because they look so much like the old Illawarra Steelers, which, don't get me wrong, I think is fantastic. Now, this is Chris Randall, 9 metres inside St George Illawarra territory. We'll get up and play it back. Verrills is there. And Verrills then goes to De Groot. De Groot gives it to Mo Fortuaka. Big Mo goes straight down the centre and he's dropped down by DeBellin. Then played to Verrills. It went to Campbell. It went to Brimson. It went to Fafita. He got away from Sloan and went inside the Westpac red zone before they bring him down a couple of metres in from touch. Tackle 3 for the Gold Coast Titans. They get up and play it back. Kelly is there. Brimson now. Brimson gets the pass away to Verrills. Verrills then gets it away to Regan Campbell-Gillard. And Regan's going to play it 10 metres out on tackle 4. So Randall again to the line. Got it away to Mo Fortuaka. Oh, they're looking good, the Titans. 2 metres out on tackle 5. Played back then
to Verrills. Went out to Randall. He stepped around 1 or 2. How he didn't score, I'll never know. Well, they pull him up, Woodsy, a millimetre short.
It was like the game just stopped for a second, Maroon. I don't know how he didn't score as well, and he just went to reach his arm out. He just couldn't get it there. But you're right, Maroon. The Titans look like they've just, the last couple of minutes, they've just got all this energy, and the Dragons look like the Titans to start the game. They look flat now.
So 0-all, 8 minutes gone. We'll get an update from the sideline shortly. Moses Sully is pulled down 15 metres out from his own line. It's been all the Gold Coast Titans. Choice Hotel stats will tell you that they have had 61% of the ball in the opening 10 minutes. Cook and then Jaden Sewer. And let's go down to the sideline for Bob Jane.
Yeah, that all started with a pretty ineffective kick from Lachlan Lillies down the other end of the field. Now, he's coming into this game under a bit of pressure, Lachlan. He needs to get that kicking game right if he wants to hold his spot in first grade.
Now the tackle count restarts. Couchman gets an ordinary pass back to Cook, but Cook goes inside Titans territory. Ilias now, right side Sully. Sully brought down by Kelly. And I tell you what, it's not a huge crowd, but they're very vocal. They've obviously been over the Steelers Club beforehand, or the half. Maybe they've been over the road at the half. Here's Clemmer now 25 metres out on tackle 2. Played to Cook, comes to the centre. DeBellin gets the pass away to Flanagan. And then he floats one out to Val Holmes. Tuipulotu over in the corner. And the razzle-dazzle begins. After 9 minutes, the Dragons lead the Gold Coast 4-0.
Oh, our man Christian Tuipulotu. I was really waiting for the try celebration there, Maroon. Show me the money. But obviously the words from Coach Shane Flanagan must have been told him to put it away. But like you said, it was a great set move. Obviously, the Dragons did get the penalty to get out of their own, Six getting to get out of their own end. But they just rolled upfield, stayed nice and calm. And it's a great link from the spine of the Dragons. Damien Cook, he finds Jack DeBellin, who takes it right to the line, does that Isaiah Yo shape, and it hits Kyle Flanagan. But what Kyle Flanagan does so well, uses Clint Gutherson as a decoy, and it attracts the outside defenders of the Gold Coast Titans, and just absolutely just cuts the ball straight across him to Valentine Holmes, who opens up for Tuipulotu on the outside. Jaden Campbell did a great job, but just couldn't get down there.
Beacon Trade scoreboard. They've got the downlights, fans and switches. Whatever the project, they've got you covered. Beacon Trade, let's make light work. Beacon Trade scoreboard. St George Illawarra 4 lead the Gold Coast 0. And about 2 metres in from touch, Pertek kick predictor at 63%. Pertek, for reliable performance, turned to Pertek drama resistance since 1980. Good start, Woodsy, for the Dragons.
Yeah, disappointed didn't see the try celebration there, Maroon.
Yeah,
I was really waiting for it.
Yeah.
Chris, he scored a fair few tries this year, 6 in 5 games, so he's doing a good job. One thing I love about the Dragons, and something that Shane Flanagan loves with his sides, is the big outside backs. They just do a job for him, getting them out of yardage. Never a hard way to get their own end, but like you said, if they can work on their last play options, Reedy called it before from Lachlan Ilias, wow, they're going to be a hard side to stop.
Now here's Valentine Holmes. 10.5 gone. 1 metre in from the western touchline. So it's to put them up by 6. Here comes Val now. I'll back him in with this one. Here he comes. Hits it nice. It's nice and straight and strong, and right over she goes. So Beacon Trade scoreboard, Dragons 6, Titans 0 as Triple M rocks the footy.
The right lighting makes all the difference. Fans, downlights and switches. Beacon Trade's got it all. Find yours at beacontrade.com.au.
Woodsy, you called for the Show Me the Money celebration. He didn't need to do it because they showed him the money this week. Christian got that 1-year contract extension and he's rewarded the Dragons for that show of faith by scoring the first try this match. That's his 6th try this season. He's on fire.
Okay, thank you very much, Reedy. And what about you, mate? Are you making enough cabbage? Are you making enough coin? You're driving a nice car these days. You're living up there on the northern beaches. How's your package?
Life's not too bad, Maroon. Thanks for asking. There's real sincerity in your voice there.
No, I like to see my friends doing well. I know that you go to Four Pines Park and thieve the party pies and put them down your undies till you get home.
Yeah, I've got to stop doing that, don't I?
You do?
I sneak a few beers in the bag as well while I'm there.
Yeah, well, that's the way, mate. It's it's all part of the gig. The beautiful, crisp Four Pines beer. Here's Cook, Jaden Sewer. St George Illawarra 6, Gold Coast 0. Sewer takes the tackle. They start strong, the Dragons. Do they keep it up? Cook comes back to the open. DeBellin now. DeBellin's almost at the halfway line before Mo Fortuwaka brings him down. And that's a 5th tackle. And then from Cook, back to Ilias. Ilias's kick goes, it's high and deep and taken on the full by De Groot. And De Groot brings it back before being caught by Flanagan. They look like they mean business tonight, the Dragons, Woodsy.
Yeah, they do. They had that little bit of a little part of the game just before where they just had no energy coming out of their own end. But yeah, it seems as though this try has really got them into a bit of a stride here. But they're just a hard try to get a read on, aren't they, Maroon? For a couple of minutes there, they can be right on top and they can just slacken off for that second to invite the Titans into the game.
Just remember that Choice Hotel stat that Woodsy revealed on the Triple M Breakfast Show this morning, that the Titans have never won at Wynn Stadium. Amazing stat, because they've been going since 2007. Last play, there's the kick from Campbell from inside his own half. It comes down to be taken on the full by Gutherson, 10 metres out. Comes back to the 20, met by the defence and brought down 15 metres out from his own line. It's a crusher. It's a crusher. The player is Gutherson. The culprit is Chris Randall, and so the Dragons get a penalty.
It's one of those hard ones because you sort of... Gutho's got to run at about 4 or 5 plays in the kick chase, and they sort of turn, and as he goes down to the ground, it's sort of, there's no real position where you can move the head. It's completely accidental. They don't go for a re-grip, and it's probably a penalty sufficient. That's about it.
All right, 5 metres their own side of the halfway line. Dragons have completed at 7 of 8, and they've looked good so far in this game. Here's Dylan Egan, right on the halfway line for the Gold Coast, for the St George Illawarra Dragons. Cook. Flanagan, and then straight up the middle goes David Clemmer, met by Regan Campbell, Gillard and Verrills. It's a good game. They're about 9 metres inside Gold Coast Titans territory. Then at the play the ball, DeBellin. Got a little ball away to Couchman. Then DeBellin again inside the 20, inside the Westpac red zone. Oh, the red team looking good tonight. Played then to Cook. Long pass to Flanagan. Flanagan throws a dummy. Goes on his own, still standing, and brought down eventually by Regan Campbell. Gillard 5 out right in front of the post. Then Cook, right side. Ilias got it away to Sewer. Passed it back to absolutely nobody. That was a silly pass. And it's picked up by Sully, who get up and play it back to Gutherson. On the last, Gutherson kicks to the in-goal area. Off the post, taken by De Groot. And somehow, Woodsy, the Gold Coast Titans managed to save another try.
Yeah, it was. It was a great pinpoint kick from Gutherson. Was aiming at the post, got the bounce, but just De Groot positioned himself really well. Jack DeBellin, his short passing game, he's got the Titans in all sorts. He's picking the right options. He knows when to get the back. Hitting short, hit Couchman there, and wrapped around for the offload as well.
Played to Verrills, given then to Mo Fortuaka. Lots of mail coming through at @NRL. You're at some sort of an Origin gig today, by the sounds of things, Woodsy.
Yeah, we had an old boys' day today at Illawarra Hotel. So Laurie Daly invited a couple of the ex-Origin boys. Good to see a lot of the legends down there. Bradley Clyde, Big Blocker Roach. Mate, it was just great to be around and hear the stories from back in the day when they played. And, you know, Laurie Daly's really trying to create something there. So I think Madge did it last year, and Laurie's going to continue to do it. So, you know, thanks Laurie, thanks David Trodden for having all the boys there today at Illawarra Hotel.
He's a good man, Trotto. David Trodden's a good fella.
He's doing the right thing in New South Wales. And like I said, like Chocky Watmouse, Paul Gallons, they were all there, and it was great to get amongst the boys.
Here's Cook, and then Sloan, and then it's still 6-0. St George Illawarra lead the Gold Coast. 15 minutes gone in this game. Damien Cook gets into dummy half once again. Right side, Jack DeBellin to the halfway, Ilias. And then it's knocked on by Moses Sully. You see, this is, Woodsy, where they... this is where they let themselves down.
Oh, big time, Marine. And the thing is, what they've got to recognise is Terrell Sloan was in field. He played the ball, and they looked this shift to his edge. And there's just no numbers out there. This is what Ilias has got to really look at. He's got to look at his game management. Like, it just wasn't the right option. You've got enough metres up the field. You're in this arm wrestle. Now you've invited the Titans to have a good attack at your try line because you've dropped the ball coming out of your own end.
Now, Gold Coast have the ball. They trail by 6 points on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. This is Haas. First I can recall calling his name in the opening 15 minutes. Verrills at dummy half. To the centre then is Campbell. Straight up the middle goes Mo Fortuaka. Met by Egan, pulled down by Clemmer. And it's the Gold Coast Titans getting an opportunity now. It comes to Campbell inside the 30. Straightens up, gets around one. Brought down by Egan in the Westpac red zone. Quick play the ball. Verrills is there. Left it goes. Kicked through by AJ Brimson, but too big
But I think they're going to get a penalty. I think he was checked. I think he was stopped, and the Gold Coast Titans get a penalty, Aaron Woods.
Yeah, it's a bit of a block from Jack DeBellin here. AJ Brimson recognises the fullback was in to play the ball, and Butler has caught a penalty on Jack DeBellin, which I don't even think that's a penalty, but the Dragons had the opportunity to challenge this, but they haven't. But it was a really good eyes-up play from Brimson, but just didn't get their right execution.
Now, this is Regan Campbell-Gillard. So the Gold Coast have opted for the tap and gone immediately on the attack. 3 metres out from the St George Illawarra Dragons line with 17 gone. It's played to Verrills, and left it goes now. It ends up with Campbell, who gets it away to feet it turn. He got a lovely pass away to Brian Kelly, and Kelly goes over without a hand laid on him, and the Gold Coast Titans strike back at 6-4.
Yeah, Maroon, wow, that just looked a little bit too easy there, didn't it? It was just a regulation carry from Dave Fafita. I think Ilias went down low. He needed a bit of help to come up on top, because we know how strong of a ball carrier Dave Fafita is. And I think there's had a little bit of push on the inside from AJ Brimson, but he just looked on the outside. It was Brian Kelly unmarked with his winger, I think Francis as well. And he's just a simple, lovely offload and just strolls over for the first try for the Titans tonight.
Beacon Trade scoreboard, St George Illawarra 6, Gold Coast 4, 17.5 gone. Triple M NRL as always, thanks to Macca's. A Minecraft movie meal has arrived at Macca's with one of 6 collectible toys. Oh, my grandkids will be looking for that. A Minecraft movie meal has arrived at Macca's. Check it out for yourself. And, of course, Ream Hot Water. Hot water needs replacing. Go for the one that's steady, hot and strong.
I think Desi Hazard will be very happy with the start of Dave Fafita for this game. We know he can be one of those players that just hangs on his edge, but he's got 4 carries already for 40 metres in the first 15 minutes.
Campbell's kick is high and it's wide. Well, he's got to be kicking those ones. They got to really, he's entitled to kick those. St George Illawarra 6, Gold Coast 4 as Triple M rocks the footy.
Like the toughest footy players, Pertex hoses don't crack under pressure. Designed and tested to handle anything thrown their way, they keep equipment running no matter the conditions. Pertec, drama resistant since 1980.
You're spot on, Woodsy, about Dave Fafita. I mean, he started this season on the interchange bench, played the first 3 games of the season on the interchange bench, or he started in round 2, so 2, 3, 4 on the interchange bench. He started last week, played 65 minutes, and he's one of those guys who can make a difference. With Tino Fasuamaui out tonight, they need Dave to stand up and make that difference tonight. He's had a good start in this game.
Des has won his last 5 as a coach against Shane Flanagan. By the way, there's a Choice Hotel stat.
You're on fire with the Choice Hotel stats tonight.
Well, I had to get one over you because I gave you one this morning, and when I was in my little home gym with the little baby weights, I heard you say, the Titans have never won at Win. I said, you mongrel.
Thank you to Anthony Maroon, I actually said.
Well, I didn't hear that bit.
Yeah.
Here's Kelly now.
Just hear what you want to hear.
19, he's saying, I'm listening every day to you, mate. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to say something wrong, and I'm dobbing you straight into the authorities.
Happens nearly every segment.
And here's Francis playing it back to De Groot. De Groot's at the halfway line on tackle 5. 19 gone, and St George Illawarra leads 6-4. Played to Verrills, back to Campbell. Campbell kicks it on the last. Straight down to Gutherson to take it on the full. 15 metres out, here comes Gutho. But a good chase from Randall, and so too Haas to bring him down 25 metres out on tackle 1. Then at dummy half it's Flanagan, then it's Sloan. That's better defence from the Gold Coast Titans, up in the face of St George Illawarra. Cook goes to dummy half again, then it goes to Sully. Sully's brought down by AJ Brimson. And Moses Sully, well, there's a mistake in him, and he's dropped that one.
I'd challenge that. It looked like yeah, they're challenging this. Brian Kelly was all over the ball.
Challenge. The on-foot ruling is a knock on Dragons. Let's carry.
All right, so you think that Kelly...
I just think Kelly was going to wrap the ball up, but then as he's wrapping the ball up, he pulls it away. As we watch the replay at the moment, his hand's all over the ball. I think the Dragons are going to win this one.
I think this is going to be a Dragons penalty.
Looking at all available angles to see if there's any stripping action from Brian Kelly.
All right, captain's challenge for Harvey Norman. Surely he's not going to say that's not a stripping action.
Look at the right arm pulled backwards.
There is no intent to strip from Brian Kelly. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful.
Honestly. All right, well, We don't want to whinge about. I've got enough things to whinge about. I don't want to whinge about referees. Challenge is unsuccessful.
You know what he might have thought? He might have thought that was a head high tackle.
Mate, you're not allowed to go to the referees, you know that.
Fair dinkum. That is one of the best strips I've seen from Brian Kelly. I think Sully just looked up and thought, look, even Des has got a smile on his face. We never see that from Desi Hasler.
No, it's nice. It's nice to see.
It is great to see.
He's beautiful when he smiles.
Although his face looked a bit awkward.
Gold Coast Titans, Kelly, 30 metres out. 20 minutes gone in this game. Getting into dummy half is Verrills. Gets it back then to the young winger who is Francis, who's a Western Sydney boy, I think, Canleyvale, up there playing on the Goldie now. Verrills, Brimson, Campbell comes right and gets it to Fermor, and Fermor's into space and into the Westpac red zone and brought down about 8 metres out on tackle 3. Gets up and plays it back to Filthy Phil Sami. Long ball back to the centre for Campbell. Campbell goes left, and running onto that is, I think it's Big Regan Campbell-Gillard to take the tackle 10 metres out. Let's have a look at it. No, it's not. It's Randall. Then left side it comes out to Campbell. Left again. Brimson's dropped that. Knock on, the referee's going to say. Knock on, AJ Brimson. Down to you on the sideline for Bob Jane. Let's speak with Brent Reid.
Well, that's an opportunity lost for the Titans. Had a real chance there. The Dragons made their first change in this game. Dave Clemmers off for a break, and Hamish Stewart is into the match.
So, that's all thanks to Bob Jane on the sideline. Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today at Bob Jane.
Can we ask Reedy a question?
Yes.
AJ Brimson has just shot the ball, Reed, man. Obviously, there's been a talk throughout the week that he might be going to pledge his allegiance for England.
Yeah, I'm not sure Sean Wayne would be happy with that. Yeah, but there's a bit of talk around that, Woodsy, that his mother's English, so he's weighing up his international allegiance. Looks like he's going to play for England. I'll try and get him after the game, actually. We'll put it on him. What do you reckon?
Oh, I think you should do that, big man.
Yeah, we'll do it, mate. We'll do it.
All right, thank you very much. Put it on him. That's a funny expression. Brent Reid. Sounds a bit creepy. Sully holds onto it this time. Gets around Kelly. Gets around Brimson. Gets taken by Mo Fortuaka on the halfway. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. St George Illawarra lead the Gold Coast 6-4. DeBellin, Flanagan. Campbell come up and took him beautifully with the help of Haas, and they bring him down. Good game of football. Tackle 5, says referee Butler. Cook to dummy half. Back then to Lachlan Ilias. The kick is high and deep, and up goes to Groot and takes it beautifully, and then brought down by Christian Tuapolotu. Played then to Beau Fermor. What are your thoughts on Beau Fermor? Woodsy, a couple of years ago, I thought he could have been anything.
I'm a big fan, but don't forget, he had that whole season where he was off.
Yes.
It's like, I'm a big fan of him in the back row. I don't like when they put him in the centre. It's like he's a fix-it man that Des moves straight away, and I think his strongest position is back row. And you know, we've seen over time, he's been part of the Queensland squad, so he's got great ability.
That's a good run from David Fafita.
He's on tonight, Maroon. He's really on.
And a quick play, the ball too, sees Brimson make another 15 metres. So they're deep inside St George Illawarra territory. Campbell from 30 metres out. The kick's not good. Gutherson gets in front of it and takes it beautifully, and then brought down by Mo Fortuaka. So no change. St George lead the game by 6 points to 4. Here is Sloane. Sloane is met by Haas. So a couple of big games of footy coming up this weekend. A doubleheader in Perth. Rabbitohs Cowboys, Manly Cronulla. So that should be a bit of show the people of Perth what it's all about. And here's Cook now, 8 metres their own side of the halfway line. Moving into dummy half. DeBellin needs support. He gets it too from Gutherson. He heads out to the right side, but they close it quickly. And then Kelly brings him down. And I think most people at the moment are just... let me just stay with this. Flanagan, Sully, and the ball's gone over the sideline. I don't think it was touched by a Titans player. So this will be a Gold Coast Titans ball.
It was the right idea, but I don't know what Tyrell Sloane was doing. He wasn't even involved in the play before. Kyle Flanagan switches from the open side to the short side, creates an extra number, which is a 3-on-2. Sully pushes up with him, and he engages the winger, but Tyrell Sloane's probably 2 metres behind and misses a try-scoring opportunity.
Woodsy, what about the Dolphins beating Penrith?
Fair dinkum. I did not see that. I thought Penrith would win and win well, having Dylan Edwards back in the side, Scott Sorensen, Nathan Cleary a week under his belt. Are they in trouble, Penrith? Look, I'm not too sure, but they need to start winning games to keep in contention with the 8.
Here's Brimson and then Fafita. Well, I think with respect, if you've lost 5 in a row, whatever team you are, you're in a spot of trouble. Verrills and then Randall. Campbell drops one back inside for Haas. Tackle 4 just outside the Westpac red zone. Still, the Dragons lead the game by 2. A nice fast game. And then they'll get up and play it back to Verrills, who changed direction, got it back to Mo Fortuaka. Big Mo's only 9 metres out. Tackle count restarts. Can they go over again? Here the Titans. Verrills, left. De Groot got the little pass away. They keep it alive. And it's Jolliffe who's going to play it 2 metres out. Verrills again. Mo Fortuaka went over the line, but you know what? He went without the ball. Knocked on by Mo Fortuaka, St George Illawarra ball, Aaron Woods.
Yeah, it was a bit of a tough pass right on the try line. Great defence from Jack DeBellin. We know he gets low right underneath guys. He's got a really good technique, and he just lands right on Fortuaka as he catches the ball, but there's probably opportunity to get out the back there. They were short for numbers.
Down to you on the sideline for Bob Jane. Here is Brent Reid.
And Luciano Leilua is about to come into the game for the Dragons soon enough, as soon as they get the ball here. And Maroon, I tipped the Dolphins. I thought they were specials last night.
Oh, that's great, mate.
That's great work, Reedy, but no one asked.
Well, you weren't talking about it earlier. I'm just saying, Maroon said no one saw that coming. I'm saying yes, they did. The smart ones amongst us saw it coming.
There's Reedy out there in his electric car eating the pies he stole from 4 Points Park, doing his tips, drinking the beer he thieved. Penalty goes to St George Illawarra, offside Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah, great first involvement from Luciano Leilua, who Reedy said just got on the field. First strong carry, gets a penalty for the Dragons, like right on the 40-metre line, which gives them good field position from an Ilias kick to touch right now.
So this is going to see the Dragons go on the attack once again. It's been a fast-paced game, Woodsy. Not a lot of stoppage.
No, it's been a lot of end-to-end. Obviously, the scoreline 6-4, probably the skill level not high, but very, very competitive. Both sides are going at it, and I see Danny Cook make a little break.
Yes, he does too, inside the Westpac red zone. And 15 metres out, just to the left-hand side of the upright. We'll get up and play it. Val Holmes is the man at dummy half. Flanagan drops one back up the middle for Toby Couchman at the Rural Butcher is 9 out. And right in front of the post for the St George Illawarra Dragons. Cook again, right side. Flanagan back inside. Now comes Hamish Stewart, who's 5 metres out on tackle 4. Then Cook. Then Ilias Flanagan needed to get it away, but he couldn't. And Bo Firma takes him in a beautiful tackle. 9 metres out, last play for St George Illawarra. Here's Gutherson, back in field. Ilias gets rid of it to Cook. This will probably be knock on, I think. Gold Coast Titans, I think. Knock on St George Illawarra, Gold Coast ball.
Yeah, it was a funny play, that one. Gutherson runs on the short side. He looked to pass back on the inside. Ilias that was already marked up. If he goes on the outside, he got an opportunity for Tuapolotu one-on-one with the winger. So, yeah, funny option there from the Dragons.
Triple M underscore NRL. Lewis says, Woodsy, now that you're doing the breakfast show, are you going to move to a luxury mansion on the harbour? I don't know if they're paying you that much yet, are they, Woodsy?
Mate, doesn't matter how much you get paid, I'll still live in the same house.
Here the ball comes across. You say that now. Here's Kelly. And he'll get up and play it back. AJ Brimson.
It's also up to my wife where she wants to live.
And here's Brimson. He's gone around 1, around 2. I've already seen changes in your character since you've been doing the breakfast show. 15 metres out, Verrills has got it and gets it away then to Randall, who got it on to Campbell, who spun out of 1. And he's brought down in the Westpac red zone. End to end this game, tackle 5. Verrills on the last play. Brimson's kick back in field. De Groot's chasing. But big Luciano gets there first and grounds it in the in goal. St George Illawarra 6, Gold Coast 4.
Oh, I love that play from the spine members of the Gold Coast Titans. A little AJ Brimson kick back on the inside for De Groot. The only one that knew it was on, but Luciano Leilua did a great job to push through and just get that ball before De Groot got there.
What did you call him?
Luciano.
Luciano, there it is. 21 metres goes the dropout. Not short, not long.
Back inside the Westpac red zone goes Filthy Phil. Filthy Phil Sami, as we like to call him. Verrills, Haas. Cleese Haas, taken by Hamish Stewart. Can they go in again here? The Gold Coast Titans. Now, a dummy half. It goes across to Campbell. It goes left again to Brimson. He zigs and he zags and he steps and he's taken on a beautiful tackle by Lachlan Ilias. 11 out of 19 metres in from touch on tackle 3. So a dummy half, it's Ferrells again. Big Mo for Tawaka for the line, but they number up and stop him. 3 out from St George Illawarra's line on tackle 4. Verrills and Randall, then Campbell. He got it away to De Groot. Surely he should have passed that to Sami. He's brought down 1 metre out on tackle 5. Played then to Fermor on the last. Campbell's got it. Campbell puts a little dink into the in goal. Gutherson might get stuck in there. He will. And so it'll be a goal line dropout. Great finish to the set with 10 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, real good finish from Campbell there. But one thing I'd love to see, Gold Coast Titans, just give Dave Fafita some ball. He didn't touch it the whole set. They're 10 metres out, and that's where he's at his most destructive best. So, love to see him. They do get the ball back from this short dropout, which you know will be short. Got to find a way to get Dave Fafita back in the game.
So, here we go. To Gutherson. The dropout is high and short and batted back and knocked back and taken by. This is a St George Illawarra ball, and Dylan Egan's into some space. So that was that come off a beauty for St George Illawarra. They're about 15 their own side of halfway. Ball comes back across now for Tuipulotu, who is going to be pulled down just short of the halfway line on tackle 2. Beacon Trade scoreboard. Another crusher tackle, this time on Tuipulotu.
It's very similar to the one we saw earlier, Maroon. It's where the players go in for contact, but then they turn as they're there, and it's very hard for the defender sometimes to squeeze them out, in a safe manner, because you've got 3 other blokes around you. So they're very unlucky those sort of tackles.
So let's have a look at the penalty count. 3-2 St George Illawarra. Completion rates 11 of 16 Dragons. That's not good on the Choice Hotel stats. So they can clean that up a bit, who knows, but they definitely need to clean up those completion rates. Choice Hotels get you more for your money. Check into more, get the lowest price guarantee when you book direct at Choice Hotels.
They've done a lot of damage, the Dragons, to this left edge, them attacking right edge of the Titans. And they just need to get that ball a little bit quicker through their hands to Flanagan, because the winger in centre, Filthy Phil Sammy, keeps jamming really hard.
Now Flanagan is taken by Jamin Jolliffe, and they are only 8 metres out, so it really has been an end-to-end game, this one. Played then to Cook, who goes on his own, got the pass away to Hamish Stewart. Good defence, Gold Coast Titans. Tackle 4, Cook again, then Ilias, Flanagan, Luciano, Leilua, Val Holmes. Beautiful ball from Luciano, and Val Holmes goes over for just a lovely rugby league try.
We said, Maroon, you've got to come to this left edge where they look most vulnerable, the Titans right edge defensively. But they changed it up this time. They've been going out the back to Kyle Flanagan, but Kyle Flanagan hits big, what do we call him, Luciano, big Luciano Leilua, and he hits a great short ball for Valentine Holmes. Is what he does, he changes his angle on the pass, he bounces out, which just catches Philip Semi going out the back to jam and goes through untouched. That's a really great, would you say that's a rehearsed play from the Dragons?
Well, I would be the wrong person to ask. What do you think?
I think it is.
Okay. Beacon Trade scoreboard. They've got downlights, fans and switches. Whatever the project, they've got you covered. Beacon Trade, let's make light work. It's a beautiful pass from Luciano, or as we like to call him, Luciano Leilua. It's like you turn 2 names into one, like people used to say Brangelina. Things like that.
Yes. It's really good to see Valentine Holmes get involved so early in the game too. They've sort of struggled in the first few weeks of the rounds to get him involved and how to get him best involved, and tonight he's been outstanding, back into the field, really good carries, and then getting his try of the night.
Pertec kick predictor, 69% for Val Holmes. St George Illawarra 10, Gold Coast 4, 7 minutes left in the first half. And here is Val. A lovely clear night, as I said, not a massive crowd. It's a beautiful facility, this one. Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. Val moves in, 5 in from touch. Nice and straight again. It'll sneak over. So no problem whatsoever. St George Illawarra 12, lead the Titans 4 as Triple M rocks the footy.
If you're in the trade, Mitre 10 hopes you're enjoying the game. And at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre, you'll also enjoy expert service and top quality materials to help get the job done right. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
Well, that was a horrid minute or so for the Titans. First of all, they failed to cover the dropout. They had 2 shots at it and still couldn't clean it up. Then they give away a crusher tackle on halfway, piggyback the Dragons downfield, and then Phil Sammy, I think you called Phil Sammy, Woodsy, he comes up with thin air, doesn't tackle anyone, and the Dragons score. And that's just a bad sequence of plays from the Titans. They need to fix that up.
Thank you, Reedy. And so St George Illawarra. Let's have a look at this set after points. Cook is there. Moses Sully's got it. Sully charges into them. St George Illawarra lead the Gold Coast 12-4. 6.5 minutes left in the first half. And they shift out to big Luciano Leilua. Firma's got him and so too Campbell. 20 short of the halfway line. Back in field it comes to Egan. And by the way, just having a look at who these sides have got next week. Dragons have got Manly at 4 Pines Park. Ilias and Jaden Sewer. So you'll be able to really get there and thieve a few party pies and beers as you do.
It's already booked in, Marine, don't worry.
Cook and then Ilias. Ilias has put a high kick up. It comes down, taken on the full by to Groot, and then Terrell Sloan came flying through. He was onside though. It's played to Brimson. Brimson got the pass away to Francis, and Francis takes the tackle 11 metres out. So once again I make the comment, they're missing a lot of players, the Titans. And Woodsy, if there was any team that can't afford to be missing a lot of players, it's the Titans.
Yeah, it is. And you look at the type of the quality of players they're missing as well, and it's their marquee men. Big Tino, like he just makes players around him a lot better. So, as we've got is that a roll ball?
Let's have a look at this on the Harvey Norman.
No balance when you play the ball. Hand over.
No balance when you play the ball.
Okay, yeah.
What I've ruled is that he's got no balance after he's played the ball before. But he's played the ball without balance. That's
no, played the ball in the balance, so that's a penalty. Let's have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. Yeah, that's sweet. That's a hard call, isn't it? He got his foot to the ball and played it.
And he was upright too. He had both feet up in the air. It wasn't one of those ones where he has the ball using it as a balance to get up. But that comes back from a great set piece off the back of points. Good kick, really good kick chase from Tyrell Sloan. Boxed him in the corner, and then the Titans working their way out of their own end.
So can they score again here, the Dragons? They lead 12-4. They're 28 metres out. Cook is there. This is Ilias. Now it's Dylan Egan. Egan goes inside the Westpac red zone once again. And that's where he'll take the tackle. About 19 out and 15 in from touch. Cook goes to the centre with a pass to Ilias. And then it went to Flanagan, who got it away to Sully. Sully got it out to Sloan. Sloan goes over in the corner. No problem whatsoever for Terrell Sloan. 10 tries in 11 games at Wynn Stadium. Thank you very much, Aaron Woods.
He's a try scorer, but what I love about this for Tyrell Sloan, he started off with his defensive effort for the Dragons. His kick chase by himself, put pressure on De Groot, forced him back on the just short of the try line, and the Titans had to work their way out. They forced an error, the Dragons. They get the ball back, and it's only 3 minutes to go to half-time. And then what they do off the back, it's a great shift. They've been going left all night. They go to the opposite side. Ilias realises how strong and damaging Sully's been. Sort of gets him one-on-one with Brian Kelly, but then engages Tony Francis. And it's just the sheer pace of Sloan to get on the outside and get the ball down for a try that could really hurt the Titans before half-time.
Indeed. Beacon Trade scoreboard. They got the downlights. You know all that. Whatever the project, they've got you covered. Let's make light work. You tradies, big or small, big business, small business, Beacon Trade, the people to speak to. St George Illawarra 16, Gold Coast 4, Pertec kick predictor 43%.
Oh, I think Desi will be really filthy on that one. You know, you come up with an area your own end, you really want to defend it, but to leak 2 quick tries just on the stroke of half-time, geez, it could dent your confidence going in there.
Yes, indeed. Inside the final 3 minutes, St George Illawarra 16, Gold Coast 4. And now Val, I'm going to back him in here. I'll have 2 dozen prawn cutlets, if you don't mind. Aaron Woods from the...
I'll double or nothing, because you owe me some from last week.
All right, well, we'll double up. Okay, you want to go double or nothing?
I think you already owe me 2 dozen.
All right, I owe you 48. I think I owe you 48. Here's Val Holmes. He has kicked it. And so, St George Illawarra 18, Gold Coast 4 as Triple M rocks the footy.
Get safety and savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. They've got tyres from just $79. Plus, buy 4 selected BF Goodrich or Michelin tyres and receive a free e-gift card worth up to $200 at Bob Jane T-Marts. They'll look after you. T's and C's apply.
They dead set imploded in the last 5 minutes, the Gold Coast Titans. I mean, they were well and truly in this game, but they've just committed error after error after error, and they've just gift-wrapped tries to the Dragons. They need to get back to what they were doing at the start of this game. That's marching downfield and just give the ball to Dave Fafita and get out the way.
Well, thank you very much, Reedy. We have seen the Dragons surrender some big leads. Well, not big leads, but moderate leads so far this year. St George Illawarra 18, Gold Coast 4, and the ball is with Moses Sully. If they go in again before half-time, that'll do me. But are we 0-0? Are we prawn cutlet neutral now, are we?
We're back to evens, brother.
Okay, there you go. Here's Laurie, 5 metres his own side of the halfway line. Getting up to play it back to Cook. Cook goes across then and gets it away. It comes across from Stewart. It ends up with Leilua. Gets it away to Val Holmes. Val's in the clear. Back inside to Gutherson. Gutherson got it away to Flanagan. Under the posts. Under the post, Kyle Flanagan. Oh, razzle-dazzle. What a wonderful try from St George Illawarra. And if you're a Gold Coast fan, that's just when you don't want it. 2 minutes before half-time.
Oh, Reedy just said they've imploded in the last couple of minutes. Have they? What a carry from Moses Sully. Attracted so many defenders. I think it was about 3 or 4 in there. Gets a quick play the ball. And they shifted his left edge again, where they've had a lot of success tonight. Really good pass from Hamish Stewart out the back. Finds Flanagan, who just hits our man, Luciano, big Luciano Leilua. Gets Valentine Holmes involved. Ooh, looks like a little bit of a forward pass, but gets a nice flick pass back on the inside to Gutherson. Kyle Flanagan still had a bit of work to do, but gets 20 metres and gets him. Mate, I said the last one's going to hurt going into half-time. This one's going to hurt even more.
Kyle Flanagan, we love the kid. He gets a try, and it's great. Val Holmes is a star of this side. So's Luciano Leilua and Gutherson. So a couple of the recruits have done well there, and it's great to see Kyle Flanagan get a try right under the post. Hey, if you're a St George Illawarra Dragons fan, they lead the game by 22 points to 4 inside the final minute of the first half as Triple M rocks the footy. The Pertec kick predictor, 480,000% to kick this. And he'll kick this right onto the roof of the Wynn Entertainment Centre, will Val Holmes, and put them up by 20 for the break. Here he comes. No dramas at all. It's all the Dragons tonight playing in the Illawarra Steelers strip, and I love to see it. And St George Illawarra lead the game 24-4. Beautiful lead-up work. Val Holmes is, I mean, whether they've won or lost, Woodsy, this year, Val Holmes has been good.
He has, and they've really found a way to inject him, like, very, very well tonight. Like, you normally just see him come in just for those carries down the other end of the field, but they've just used him really well. Luciano has sort of got a good combination at the moment, and I like what Shane Flanagan has done. He's brought him off the bench. The game has a bit of the stings taken out of it, and he's really just had the silky skills to put the Titans away.
Blake Laurie takes the tackle. 20 seconds left in the first half. Cook. And
could be another one here, Maru.
Leilua. Or, well, maybe if they shift, they've got 10 seconds. Cook goes to, or maybe a cheeky little kick. Cook gets the pass away to, I think it's Dylan Egan taking the tackle 15 metres out. Getting up to play it back. We'll go. There's the halftime sign in the background. And referee Butler says, fellas, that'll do us. And look, it's all St George Illawarra. The last 10 minutes, the game has really turned in their favour. And they take a halftime lead of, well, you might even say, Woodsy, the last 5 minutes, really. But the St George Illawarra Dragons lead Gold Coast by 24 points to 4. And as always, we do it thanks to McDonald's. They were doing even bigger things right now. That is the Minecraft movie meal that's arrived at Macca's with 1 of 6 collectible toys. A Minecraft movie meal has arrived with 1 of 6 limited edition collectible toys and your choice of a Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNugget meal with new Nether Flame sauce. Nether Flame sauce. You love that stuff. And, of course, Ream hot water. If your hot water needs replacing, go for the one that's steady, hot and strong. Aaron Woods, Brett Reed, Anthony Maroon, St George Illawarra 24, Gold Coast 4 as Triple M rocks the footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M! Triple M rocks footy.
Tradies, big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trade's got the lighting, fans and electrical to get it done. Join up at beacontrade.com.au. Come and join in on the grand opening celebrations all weekend at 51 Roberts Road, Greenacre, opposite Bunnings. 4wheeldrivesupercentre.com.au.
Triple M Sydney traffic.
Discover the fresh new look at Woolworths DY today. Head down and enjoy delicious fresh fruit and veg and 100% Aussie grown meat. Only at your local Woolworths DY. 37 Howard Avenue. Homebush West, we've got a breakdown causing heavy delays southbound on Centenary Drive at Austin Avenue. We are still seeing delays westbound on the M4 through Eastern Creek after an earlier truck fire. A traffic update, that's useful. A company that provides electricity, gas and internet, that's all kinds of useful. Origin, all kinds of useful. If we repeat a song between 9am and 4pm, you could win 50 grand with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday.
If you haven't had a taste of what it's like to win big on Sydney's Triple M yet,
Kelly, you're going to the UK to celebrate it! Yeah! You won tolls for a year!
You and a friend are off to Vegas!
don't worry, still to come this year, $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday. Good times and greatest hits. Sydney's 104.9 Triple M.
You have made my life.
Now, at Harvey Norman, 10% off selected AEG kitchen appliances plus 10-year manufacturer's warranty. That's right, upgrade to premium AEG kitchen appliances and save. 10% off selected AEG pyrolytic ovens and induction cooktops plus 10-year warranty. 10% off selected AEG integrated range hoods and dishwashers and 10-year warranty. Experience the premium AEG kitchen range with this amazing offer. Limited time. Now at Harvey Norman. Conditions and exclusions apply.
New working year, new working gear. Step on up to the new Bailey Aluminium Step Extension Ladder. Using unique rear slides, it's the quickest, most convenient and most compact conversion style ladder available. Way more compact conversion than a traditional dual purpose, Bailey's Step Extension gives you step, leaning and straight with a rear leg section narrow enough to work within studs and manholes. Treat yourself to the all-new Bailey Aluminium Step Extension Ladder, exclusively at Bunnings. BaileyLadders.com.au.
With NRMA Insurance, you could enjoy our multi-policy discount when you take out 2 or more eligible policies. NRMA Insurance, a help company. Discount applies in tiers based on the number of eligible policies. Maximum tier reached at 9 eligible policies. Visit nrma.com.au/customer-discounts for more info. Discount may be subject to minimum premiums. Always read the PDS. PDS and TMDs available from NRMA Insurance at nrma.com.au. Shh.
Can you hear that? That's the sound of superior technology. With over 25 years of innovation, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries excels in engineering air conditioning tailored to Australian conditions. You won't see it or hear it, but you'll feel the difference. Whisper quiet, efficient performance for your home or office. Experience the sound of superior technology. Put your trust in Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, the experts in air.
If your business needs fast funding, don't get caught offside. With Prosper, you can apply online in less than 10 minutes and get funded in hours. Choose a business loan or line of credit up to $500K. That'll get you over the line. Make extra repayments to save on interest, plus manage your cash flow anytime with the Prosper app. Prosper gets you off the bench and back in the game. Apply today at prosper.com. That's PROSPA. T's and C's and standard credit criteria apply.
We all feel the pressure right now. It seems like there's less room to make mistakes, to take a hit. And that's especially so if you're selling your home. Whether you want to sell or have to sell, choosing the right agent has never felt more crucial. When you find an agent through localagentfinder.com.au, you can be sure you've got an agent who wants to get the best result possible for you. Compare and connect with the right agent at no cost. Search Local Agent Finder today.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Want a free tyre? At Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3 Bridgestone, Yokohama or Kumho tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Get up to $150 instant cash back on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus, receive a free e-gift card up to $200 when you buy 4 selected Bev Goodrich or Michelin tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, the world is on Triple M.
Triple M rocks footy.
Tradies, big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trade's got the lighting, fans and electrical to get it done. Join up at beacontrade.com.au.
Welcome back to Wynn Stadium, where St George Illawarra, the home ground's doing wonders for them. They lead the Gold Coast Titans by 24 points to 4. A couple of late tries in the first half, but they do look the better side, and they do look, Woodgie, like they'll go on with the job.
Yeah, they do at the moment, and it really started well with the ball. A little interchange of passing from Jack DeBell, and it really stripped the Titans' defence. Then the Titans got back into the game. David Fafita was enormous in that first 20-25 minutes. But there was a period where they had a bit of possession on the try line of the Dragons, the Titans attacking. They just didn't find Dave Fafita. He's been a weapon tonight. And then, like you said, there was a moment in that game. The Dragons were playing in a good arm wrestle. Tyrell Sloan comes up with a huge kick chase effort on De Groot. Next 2 plays later, Fillmore comes up with what was a bit of a dubious roll ball or didn't get to his feet properly. And from that moment, the Dragons just went bang, bang, bang and put 18 points on.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a long way. Look, I made the point earlier that a couple of times this year the St George have had leads of 12, maybe 14, but 20 points is a long way for a team like the Gold Coast to come back.
It is. Like, if you felt it was probably 18, it gives you a bit of hope for the Titans, but 20, just that extra 2 points really... They know in the mindset that they've got to score 4 tries, and the way that they're playing this first half, you just can't see it happening. The Dragons, they've got a lot of momentum going into half-time. They had a lot of possession, so hopefully they can come out again this second half, and Shane Fleming will have them fired up for this.
Okay, yeah, well, I was going to ask you, what is Des Hasler saying to the Gold Coast side?
I think Desi would just be disappointed at the way they were going. Like, they were playing some great footy. The scoreline was 6-4, and then just out of nowhere, they started falling off tackles. They started handing possession over, and they just invited the Dragons. And a good side like the Dragons, who've got some great attacking weapons, they just made the most of it. So Desi will just be fielded. Just go back to basics. Just get back in that arm wrestle, and let's try and force some errors from the Dragons.
Okay, St George Illawarra 24, Gold Coast 4. Triple M NRL is for Ream and for Maccas. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, the second half will be underway at Wynn Stadium, Wollongong, as Triple M rocks the footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
Tradies, big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trade's got the lighting, fans and electrical to get it done. Join up at beacontrade.com.au.
In the halftime break, and if you need a break from your mates, that's Mayday. Be a little hard of hearing, a play-by-play. Send them to Specsavers. The hearing experts at Specsavers Audiology can help them recover the joy of everyday sounds, and I guess you can count on us in that. Don't leave your teammates on the sideline. Get everyone back in the game with Specsavers Audiology. Book an appointment at specsavers.com.au/hearing Specsavers.
Dive into the minds of investigative journalists and researchers to uncover well-kept secrets with Listeners Lineup of investigative podcasts. Download the app and search Uncover.
Triple M Sydney Traffic.
Do you or someone you care for need complex mental health support? Sane can help. Choose from a range of free digital and telehealth support services. Visit sane.org today. Check any REMS, a 10-minute run on the M4 westbound from Church Street, Parramatta to the M7 at Eastern Creek. We've got a 14-minute run on the M5 westbound from the Kingsgrove main tunnel exit to Preston's. From funding local sports to supporting essential health services, Mounties Group is making a real difference. Because at Mounties, community comes first. If we repeat a song between 9am and 4pm, you could win $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday.
If you haven't had a taste of what it's like to win big on Sydney's Triple M yet,
How are you going to the UK to see Oasis? Yeah! You won tolls for a year. You and a friend are off to Vegas.
don't worry, still to come this year, $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday. Good times and greatest hits. Sydney's 104.9 Triple M.
You have made my life.
Sculpting. Work. Expenses. Work. Clay. Work. Receipts. Work. The kiln. Work. Trying to match up receipt dates with the same amount of success you had when you were trying to match up with Stacey O'Keefe at your high school disco. Not much, but hey, at least you got to hold hands with the receipt. Work. Do less work with Solo by MYOB, the new admin app for sole operators that tracks expenses by snapping them on your phone. Sign up for Solo at myob.com.
With NRMA Insurance, you could enjoy our multi-policy discount when you take out 2 or more eligible policies. NRMA Insurance, a help company. Discount applies in tiers based on the number of eligible policies. Maximum tier reached at 9 eligible policies. Visit nrma.com.au/customer-discounts for more info. Discount may be subject to minimum premiums. Always read the PDS. PDS and TMDs available from NRMA Insurance at nrma.com.au.
How do you feel? I feel like a Tooheys. The game's on, the team's ready, and it's time for a Tooheys. Whether you're cheering on your team at the stadium or watching with mates at the pub, nothing beats the legendary refreshment of Tooheys. Proudly born in New South Wales, Tooheys has been our beer for over 150 years. And the official beer of the New South Wales Blues. It's the drink that always by your side when the team's in action. How do you feel? I feel like a Tooheys or two. Drink responsibly with Tooheys.
When you're passionate about the footy, you know the game like the back of your hand. It's a bit like that at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre. We're passionate about the trade and we know it better than anyone. With expert advice and top quality timber and building products, our dedicated trade teams are ready with specialised service backed by an Australia-wide network. So while you support your team, Mitre 10 Trade is supporting you. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
At Blunston, we've always kept moving so the people who wear our boots can do the same. Our work and safety range is built for anything the day throws at you. From a long day on the work site to tackling the rugged terrain on a farm and everything in between, Blunston has you covered. Engineered tough with next-gen technology and award-winning design, our work and safety boots provide protection and comfort all day long. Blunston, building the future. Find your local retailer at blunston.com.au.
Now at Harvey Norman, 10% off selected AEG kitchen appliances plus 10-year manufacturer's warranty. That's right, upgrade to premium AEG kitchen appliances and save. 10% off selected AEG pyrolytic ovens and induction cooktops plus 10-year warranty. 10% off selected AEG integrated range hoods and dishwashers and 10-year warranty. Experience the premium AEG kitchen range with this amazing offer. Limited time. Now at Harvey Norman. Conditions and exclusions apply.
New working year, new working gear. Step on up to the new Bailey Aluminium Step Extension Ladder. Using unique rear slides, it's the quickest, most convenient and most compact conversion style ladder available. Way more compact conversion than a traditional dual purpose. Bailey's Step Extension gives you step, leaning and straight with a rear leg section narrow enough to work within studs and manholes. Treat yourself to the all-new Bailey Aluminium Step Extension Ladder. Exclusively at BaileyLadders.com.au.
Get expert service trusted by the trade at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre.
Play to Cook, comes to the centre. DeBellin gets the pass away to Flanagan. And then he floats one out to Val Holmes. Tuapolotu over in the corner. And the razzle-dazzle begins. And left it goes now. It ends up with Campbell, who gets it away to Fafita turn. He got a lovely pass away to Brian Kelly. And Kelly goes over without a hand laid on him.
Yeah, wow, that just looked a little bit too easy there, didn't it?
Cook again. Then Ilias, Flanagan, Luciano, Leilua, Val Holmes. Beautiful ball from Luciano. And Val Holmes goes over for just a lovely rugby league try. Then it went to Flanagan, who got it away to Sully. Sully got it out to Sloane. Sloane goes over in the corner. 10 tries in 11 games at Wynn Stadium. It comes across from Stewart. It ends up with Leilua, gets it away to Val Holmes. Val's in the clear, back inside to Gutherson. Gutherson got it away to Flanagan. Under the posts. Oh, razzle-dazzle. What a wonderful try from St George Illawarra. We'll go. There's the halftime sign in the background. St George Illawarra Dragons lead Gold Coast by 24 points to 4. And we welcome back, thanks to those highlights for Mitre 10 Trade. I didn't mention earlier, Christian Tuapolotu, 50 NRL games today across 2 clubs, I believe. 3.
Roosters, Manly, St George Illawarra Dragons.
Roosters, I'd forgotten. As we come back, it's kick-off. It's St George Illawarra leading the Gold Coast by 24 points to 4. And that is Jolliffe getting up to play it to Verrills. Well, they've got it all to do. They're behind by 20. We'll get a halftime report very shortly from Brent Reid on the sideline. David Fafita. He's now 20 metres short of the halfway. Plays it to Verrills. And then it went across to Jolliffe, and he's absolutely mongrelled down 30 metres out. Verrills again. And then it goes to Brock Gray. So this is the last play for the Gold Coast Titans. with their handy 20-point lead. It goes back to Campbell from his own side of the halfway line, straight down to be taken by Gutherson, 20 metres out. Makes it for the 30, and the defence is good. He'll get up and play at about 35 out from his own line. Back to Ilias, Christian Tuipulotu. I'd forgotten he played for the Roosters. Way on back, did he, Woodsy?
Yeah, it was his original club that he come through. Good young winger, just couldn't get an opportunity there at that period of time. Went Manly. I was lucky enough to train with him. He's a great character and very strong ball carrier.
Now we see it go across from Ilias to Jaden Sewer. Did I just see a player down there?
I see more than a player. I see a referee, Chris Butler, fall over, and it looked like he's limping. I hope they've got the backup ref there.
Ball is played back to come across for Cook. Cook got it away to Blake Laurie. Tackle count restarts. Referee Butler's limping in the background. That's tackle one. Will he need an HIA? Ilias got the pass away to Dylan Egan. Inside the Westpac red zone. And the Dragons lead the game 24 points to 4 on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. Ball is played back now. This is Ilias. This is Flanagan. This is Gutherson. Gutherson needs to offload. Taken in a good tackle. Picked up and he'll go again. A dummy half is Luciano Leilua. 10 metres out. 5 out. Oh, this is concerning. They might go again in here, Woodsy. They do go left too. Cook, Stewart, Flanagan. Oh, Christian Tuipulotu. Game 50, and he's over in the corner, untouched, and he does it. He does it. Show me the money.
Show me the money, baby. As Brett Reid said, he got the contract extension. You know what, Shane Flanagan? Show me the money, baby. We caught it. They were short for numbers on that left edge. Oh, the Dragons are just stripping to pieces. It was a great carry for the play before from Sully. Thought he was going to go through, but then really good pass from Hamish Stewart out the back, who found Flanagan, which looked like he went to go for a cut-out pass to find Luciano Leilua, but he ended up going just one across the face of him and finds Tuipulotu unmarked to get his second try of the night. His 50th game as well?
Yep.
Congratulations, Christian.
Yes, and great to see Kyle Flanagan do some good things tonight. He's already scored a try, and there's a beautiful pass from Kyle Flanagan. St George Illawarra 28, Gold Coast 4 on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. 10-year warranty, 10 years cap price servicing, and yes, Christian Tuipulotu does the thing where he's handing out money. All the footy players love that. You love it, and our man Grubby loves it. I mean, what's the big deal about that?
Personalities.
Well, what's the big deal about that?
I don't want to see just boring lemon people. I want to see some good things, mate.
Lemons aren't boring.
Yes, they are. They're sour. Like, ooh, you don't get to eat it. You have an apple, you love the taste of it. You don't have to bite into a lemon like you bite into an apple.
Oh, hang on, we're going down a whole other... We might have to come back to this.
You've had to think about it.
Well, I mean, I've never bitten into a lemon, I don't think. But yeah, you're probably right. St George Illawarra 28, Gold Coast 4. Here's Val from the sideline. Pertek kick predictor loves it, but he's missed it. So it's 28 points to 4. Down to you for Bob Jane, Brent Reid.
Yeah, well, obviously Des will be really upset with that, because one thing he spoke to his team about at half-time was believing in what they've done during the week and sticking to that, keep challenging themselves with what they've done during the week, believing themselves, and he said, you'll be there at the end of the game. Well, they obviously haven't believed in what they've done during the week there, because that was just an easy try for Christian Tuipulotu. And I'll tell you what, in terms of what Shane Flanagan said at half-time, this probably becomes more important, because he said you've got to stay connected in defence. He said Brimson and Campbell, they're going to try things, they're going to throw things at you. If you're not connected, you've got to be singing from the same hymn sheet defensively to stop those blokes, because they are going to have a red-hot go now.
At @MM_NRL, Devon Pillsbury says she loves, I assume it's a she, Devon Pillsbury, loves Reedy on NRL 360.
So we all love Reedy on 360.
I think Devon would be a man, though. Isn't that a man's name?
I don't know. Devon, it could be a man or a woman.
Isn't that a form of meat, Devon?
A form of meat, yes.
You know, on a sandwich.
Yeah, I haven't had Devon on a sandwich for long. But anyway, I'm not ridiculing someone's name.
Devon and tomato sauce, beautiful sandwich.
It's a very modern name, is Devon. Devon says she loves you on NRL. I'll tell you who I'm loving. I'm loving my man Dan Ganane.
Oh, yeah.
On 362. Inside the 40 they go. Tackle 5. It's kicked by Lachlan Ilias on tackle 5. Up it goes. And it's taken on the full by Terrell Sloan, who kicks again. But it's cleaned up there eventually by Tony Francis. And the County Vale Cook is going to play it 15 metres out from his own line. No change. St George Illawarra 28 lead the Gold Coast 4. Played back to Brimson. and then given to Brian Kelly, and Kelly will be taken now about 25 metres out. When are you going on NRL 360? Because I know you were on there. You were on there through the week.
I was on Wednesday.
I saw you, yes. You saw it, yes, that's right. My grandkids said, is that the paddle pop line? I said, no, kids, that's not, don't be scared.
You know what they're doing 360? I had to back up our man Peabody, who's on the sideline, because they were just giving it to him on Monday night.
Here's Phil Sami, played back, comes across now to Brock Gray. Brock Gray is 5 metres his own side of the halfway line on tackle 5. Played to Verrills, goes across to Campbell. Campbell puts the kick off from the halfway line. It comes down for Christian Tuipulotu, and he's going to be taken by the good defence there of Cleese Haas, and so too Brock Gray. Tackle 1, 6 gone second half. On the Triple M Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard, here's Val Holmes. Brought down and a good tackle there. Verrills was the defender. And now Flanagan gets into dummy half. Gets it away to Gutherson. Gutherson offloads then to Ilias. Ilias tries to spin away from one. We want to see Lachlan Ilias finish with a good game today. You think about these games that the Dragons have just failed to close off, Woodsy.
Yeah, you just want to see Ilias ice it. It was really good to see him take the line, and we haven't seen that too much in these first few rounds of the competition. And just a good kick would really help his confidence here to finish the set off.
As Lachlan Ilias from 40 out. Down it goes, taken on the full by Francis. And Triple M _NRL. Devon says, hi guys, I'm a female. Okay, Devon, there you go. Devon Pillsbury's a female. Thank you, Devon, and thank you for your support.
But she also asked, you forgot to read the last bit.
What?
Is Reedy single?
Ah, dear, oh dear. Here's Filthy Phil Sami. No, it says, does Reedy need a booster seat when he gets in the Tesla? No, he doesn't. Here's Kelly, and he'll play it 15 metres out, tackle 4. St George Illawarra 28, Gold Coast 4. And Kelly's blowing up about something. Now David Fafita. He'll play it about 18 his own side of the halfway line, tackle 5. And at the dummy half there is Verrills. Campbell. From deep inside the 40, this kick goes straight down the middle, bounces up awkwardly, and taken by the man of the moment, Christian Tuipulotu, who's met by Jolliffe and Brock Gray and brought down. 28-4 St George lead the Gold Coast. What about the other games, Woodsy? Who are you liking up next?
Yeah, well, you see the Brisbane Broncos come up against the Sydney Roosters, who they played in round 1. I think they scored 50 points against them. Look, I really like the Broncos. I love what they're doing. They've found some good form, consistent. And when you got people like Payne Haas in that front row, wow, they're hard to stop. Hasn't this man been enormous tonight? Moses Sully's he's a man on a mission. That's his 12th carry. 13th carry for 110 metres. And he's got himself another penalty for the side.
Yep, stripped, so Moses Sully gets a penalty, and this will give him a chance to go on the attack once again. We saw, too, in that Broncos game, Woodsy, some little bit of vintage brilliance from the great Adam Reynolds, which I always love.
Mate, one thing I love about Adam Reynolds, Maroon, he's getting better with age. It's like the game is slow in his mind, and everyone else around him, he just knows to pick the right options. The chip and chase, you love to see it, don't you?
It's cool. Oh, yeah. Ilias, Flanagan, Gutherson, Holmes. Inside the Westpac red zone once again. I'll back them for a try here. They're 11 metres out and 15 in from touch. Gutherson, Flanagan got it away to Hamish Stewart, ran straight into Brock Gray.
They left.
And he's 3 metres out. They look to the left. I think they're going to come right. No, they go left. Cook, he goes on his own, Damien Cook. He's over the line, but he'll be held up, the Helensburgh Tiger. He's held up over the line, says referee Butler.
Yeah, you see an opportunity there from dummy half. He tried to fool him by faking to go left, throwing a huge dummy, but Jaden Campbell was aware for it.
Now, back it comes to Flanagan. Ilias, long pass again. Sully, they must score. Sully only had to pass that to Sloan. I don't know why he didn't. Last play, Gutherson on the last. Ilias's kick ricochets up off Brock Gray. It should be 6 again. Knocked back by Kyle Flanagan. Outside the Westpac red zone. Back in the Westpac red zone goes Jaden Sewer. I haven't seen them start the tackle count again, Woodsy. They have they?
Yeah, Chris Butler just referred to it. They've got to go left, Maureen. They've had so much success tonight. You've got to go left.
There's Cook and Big Blake Laurie. 2 metres out from the Gold Coast Titans line. Tackle count restarts. Cook again. Long pass left. It's Ilias. It's Flanagan. It's Numbers. It's Leilua. It's Gutherson. And Christian Tuipulotu went without, and otherwise he was in again.
And so a little bit of a try gone begging. Gold Coast Titans will get the ball.
Yeah, it was, Maroon. It was a bit of an all-or-nothing play because it was only 0 tackle. They just got 6 again. It was great pressure from the man on debut, Alan Fitzgibbon. He recognises that Clint Gutherson was out the back and he just jammed him, come out of nowhere and forced a quick pass which he just couldn't control into Christian Tuapolotu's hands.
Bob Jane T-Marts present Brent Reed. Let's go to him on the sideline.
Yeah, he's a good story, Alan Fitzgibbon, isn't he? 26 years old, making his debut for the Titans. I reckon he runs like the wind. So hopefully we see him in some open space. We get an opportunity. And I'm sorry, Devon. Yeah, I've been off the market for quite some time now. Otherwise, hey. I'll be available, don't worry.
Devon, you missed out on the great Tesla driver.
I was born on Valentine's Day too, Maroon. Born lover, mate. Born lover.
What year were you born, Reedy?
1970, Maroon.
Okay, you're a little bit younger than me. Here's Verrills, and then AJ Brimson, and he's right on the halfway line as we have half hour left in the game. Back now for Campbell, right on the halfway. It comes down. It's taken on the full by Gutherson, and Gutherson comes back. Gets caught in tonight's first Malachi crunch. 15 metres out from the St George Illawarra line. We'll get up and play it back to Flanagan. Flanagan will get it away to Tuapolotu. How's his run meters tonight? That's 145 now. Christian Tuapolotu on the Choice Hotel stats. Val Holmes goes forward. Oh, the Dragons, they look a different side. Woodsy, they look a completely different side, even to the side that led Parramatta by 12.
Yeah, they do. They look like a side in control, and what I love what Shane Flanagan's done here, they've brought Jacob Little on, they've kept Damien Cook to play lock, but Little's been a real big X factor for him the last few weeks. Every time he's come on, the game's really opened up. Good leg speed out of dummy half. He knows to take the right opportunity.
Val Holmes takes the 5th tackle on the full, so they keep the ball alive. Luciano Leilua back to Flanagan. Flanagan got it away to Tuapolotu. It went out to Val Holmes, who kicked it again. Back in field. And knocked on by De Groot. Knocked on. So they're just throwing it around like a hot potato, the Dragons. Then they kick it. Then De Groot, young Jalen De Groot, knocks it on for the Gold Coast Titans, and the Dragons will go back on the attack.
It's always that second kick, you always got to really worry about it. But the thing I love about it, it's Sloan again, just his presence to push through, kick chase. De Groot recognises that he's there, and he probably doesn't want to try catch that on the full because it's right at his toes, but he has to make a play because there's Tyrell Sloan just there to put the pressure on him.
We will just stay with the play here. I think Reedy's got an injury update, but I just need to stay with this for a minute. Out of dummy half Little, Terrell Sloan. Terrell Sloan is only 3 metres out. St George Illawarra 28, Gold Coast 4. And he's over the line, so he decides I'll plonk it down anyway, but it's no try. He's about half a metre out. He'll play it to Little. Little will get it away to Hamish Stewart. Hamish will play it 3 metres out from the Gold Coast Titans line. Little again. It went to Flanagan. He dropped it back inside to Dylan Egan. Oh, I like this kid. And he's going to take the tackle half a metre out. What's the whistle blowing for? Did he knock it on? Down to you on the sideline, Brett Reed.
Just an injury update on Titans player Brock Gray. He's just gone up the tunnel. Looks so he got a poke in the eye, so he's just gone up the tunnel with the trainer to sort that out.
Triple M _ NRL. This is Devon Pillsbury again, who we have established is a woman.
Hey, Devon.
Devon wants to know, on Valentine's Day, Reedy, do you celebrate your birthday or Valentine's Day or both?
No, my birthday, Maroon. It's far more important.
Okay, now the scrum was nearly won against the feed, which would have been the first time since 1973.
The halfback can't reach in there and pull the ball away.
Well, no.
Should have been a penalty to the Dragons.
So this is Alan Fitzgibbon, who takes his name from one of the true gentlemen of our game, the father of Craig.
He's an administrator at the Sharks and the Sharks coach, wasn't he?
Yeah, down Dapto way.
Yeah.
With the Canary. Just a wonderful man, wonderful family, the Fitzgibbons. Played back to Verrills. Then it comes across now for Brimson, who got it away to Jalen De Groot. And the De Groot man will play at 5, his own side of the halfway line. Now Kelly runs across field, tries to link with somebody. And they've all of a sudden got a burst of energy. Tackle 5. Last play. Back it goes now for the kick from Campbell, and under it is Gutherson. Takes it on the full 5 out from his own line. No change on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard, St George Illawarra 28, Gold Coast 4. Oh, Flanagan is a dummy half. And then Tuapolotu.
Ooh, shot.
And got a shot of Kieran Foran on the sideline there as Luciano Leilua drops it. It's picked up by Brimson. So you made the fatal error, Woodsy, of giving Moses Sully a wrap. Now the Titans go on the attack. Inside the Westpac red zone.
You did the same thing with Dylan Egan.
Here's Mo Fortuaka. 9 metres out from the Dragons line. Now it goes across for Campbell. Drops one back in field. And they're about 3 metres out. And getting up the play is Bo Fermor to Verrills. Verrills got it away to Joel. This is where they got to really concentrate on their online defence, the Dragons. Verrills is there. Right side, it's Campbell. Straightens up. Gets away from one. Goes again, Campbell. Pulled down about 3 metres short from the St George Illawarra line on tackle 4. At the play the ball, Verrills again. Brimson kicks. Kelly is there. And Kelly will claim a try. That should be a try. Terrell Sloan tried to bat it dead, but I think you'll find that Brian Kelly got there and grounded it cleanly.
It's a big effort from Terrell Sloan to get there to knock it dead. But as he knocks it dead, Brian Kelly does an even better job to get the ball down. They are so hard to control the ball in that situation. And looking at him, he's pretty confident. It looked like that was probably the only way they were going to score a try, and that set was from a kick because they were so disorganised. AJ Brimson just goes to the line, toes it ahead, watch the replay. Oh, I'd like to watch a closer look on this replay. I'm not too sure about this, Maroon.
You think he didn't ground it?
Yeah, so Tyrell Sloan just gets to the ball and flicks it. As we watch him with his right arm, comes off there,
he's dropped it.
And he doesn't regather it.
He's dropped it.
That's a no try.
Harvey Norman replay will suggest that they are going to take this try off Brian Kelly. And, yeah, okay, referee Butler. Let's have a look.
Knock on in goal, please.
It was a knock on all day. If you're a Gold Coast Titans fan, I hate to add insult to injury, but Brian Kelly knocked this on. It comes off the forearm.
Tyrell Sloan is playing at the ball. It is knocked backwards. We are playing on. It then touches Brian Kelly's right arm. He's then required to re-grip the ball before grounding, which he fails to do and knocks the ball on in the in goal. Decision made.
No try.
Do you like that rule where you've got to get full control of the ball again? Like, you know how you sort of touch it but you can't slam it down?
No, I think you've got to get full control of the ball.
Yep, I was asking, do you like that rule?
Oh, certainly.
Yep.
Certainly I do. Do you like that rule?
Yeah, I think it just makes it.
Well, if you like it, I don't.
Okay.
Okay, if you like it, I don't like it, right?
Why can't we ever agree? You said you weren't going to whinge tonight.
Because you're like my beautiful wife. Whatever I say, you've got to go opposite, right? Now, this is Little, and then it comes across to Christian Tuapolotu, who's 5 his own side of the halfway line. Broncos, we'll have that game because Dobbo will be on hand to call that one. Dobbo's Rooster Soft. It's not on the Triple M you're listening to. Go to the listener app.
Geez, the outside backs for the Dragons have done an amazing job tonight. They're all above 100 metres, except for Brent Gutherson's on 95 metres. So they're really tearing the middle apart for the Gold Coast Titans.
Now this is Little. He goes inside the Westpac red zone. Pass to the Bellin. Ball comes loose. I thought it was forward anyway. Never mind. Verrills has it for the Gold Coast Titans. And so the Gold Coast off the hook once again. And they got a penalty here. They have. So let's go down to you on the sideline for Bob Jane T-Mart, Brent Reid.
Yeah, their defence would look on all sorts here at times. I mean, that was just too easy for the Dragons. Just got to come quick play the balls and just punch through the middle of the field. Geez, it must be frustrating being a Gold Coast fan. I mean, they turn up some weeks, and other weeks they're diabolical, and this is one of those weeks.
Oh, absolutely. Triple M. Oh, hang on, there we go. Kelly. Oh. He went to get the pass away to Tony Francis, who was absolutely no chance of getting it. It rolls over the dead ball line. Dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh. I mean, honestly, you've never seen a team that could frustrate their fans more in the history of Australian sport than the Gold Coast Titans.
And you're right, Maroon. Like, it was the first carry off a tap run. Dave Fafita has such a strong carry. Finds an offload to Brian Kelly, who just flicks it to Tony France for no reason on play one when you're trying to get yourself back into the game. They they just compound it and just make a hard error for themselves.
28-4, St George Illawarra lead the Gold Coast. Egan will get up and play it back. The dummy half, it's Jacob Little. Left side he goes and gets the pass to Flanagan. Flanagan's going to be pulled down by Mo Fortuwaka with 22 and a half minutes left in the game. So we see Jacob Little go to dummy half again. Gets it away to DeBellin, goes inside the 30-metre line and just floats one out the back to Little, who got it away to Ilias. Ilias has got a bit of room to move. Back into the Westpac red zone. This is better stuff. This is the Dragons now on the attack. Played to Little. Gone to Sewer. Sewer out, gets it away to Sloan. And good defence there from Tony Francis to stop him about 3 metres out on tackle 4. At the play the ball, it's Jaden Sewer with a long ball to Willius, a long ball to Cook. Cook got it away to Flanagan. Then it went to Gutherson. Luciano Leilua. The great Val Holmes has pulled down 9 metres out and a couple in from touch on tackle 5. Tua Pilotu says, well, I'll go on my own. I don't know that was the play. Changeover, Gold Coast Titans ball.
Yeah, it wasn't a play, but if oh, my.
And then the Gold Coast Titans, have they knocked that on tackle 1?
Yeah, well, it shows you now that it was the right play from Christian Tuapolotu. He just took the tackle, kills the ball in the corner, makes the Titans force their way out of their own end. But Alan Fitzgibbon comes up with a horrible error coming off his own line. Play 1, last 2 sets the Titans have had, they've dropped the play 1. And as you said, Maroon, they're just a hard side to follow, aren't they?
Do you think, Woodsy,
oh, here we go.
You know, places like Perth and Wellington, are there signing petitions to get a rugby league side? Do you think Gold Coast might be signing a petition to get rid of their rugby league side?
Come on, mate, don't be like that. We love the Gold Coast.
All right, then.
And that's the problem. They love it up there too much, they forget they've got to pay rugby league.
Yeah, I think that is half the problem. Here's Val Holmes, 9 metres out. Dragons lead 28-4. Jacob Little goes into dummy half once again. Now it's Jack DeBellin. DeBellin's going to be met by Haas. And so too Mo Fortuwaka. 5 out right in front of the post. We've got a drama on the sideline, but I think Reedy's onto it. Little goes left to Flanagan. Drops one back into Dylan Egan. Egan's brought down 9 out. So he'll get up and try and play it quickly back to Jacob Little again. Then Flanagan. Flanagan to Ilias. Ilias got it away fully. And then it goes across to our man in the corner. Terrell Sloan scores again. And now you can make that for Terrell Sloan. Let me just check. 11 tries in 11 games for Terrell Sloan on the Choice Hotel stats. Dragons 32, Gold Coast 4.
Oh, the backline movement for the Dragons tonight's been outstanding. Both wingers have got 2 tries. It's just the movement. They're all in sync. And you caught it before, Maroon, in a couple of sets ago. If Moses Sully had looked up and passed to Sloan, he probably scores. This time he learns from his mistake previously. A nice catch early, engages the winger, and goes straight to Tyrell Sloan for his 2nd try of the night. He's got a pretty good try score record, 100%. We're in 11 from 11.
Yeah, unbelievable. Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. You know the Triton's the one with the 10-year warranty, the 10-year cap price servicing. But don't worry about all that. It's reliable. It's bi-turbocharged power, workhorse grunt, off-road performance, best-in-class superior steering and handling. You deserve the best. And the best is the Mitsubishi Triton. St George 32, Gold Coast 4.
Well, it's some worrying signs for the Gold Coast Titans, how easy the Dragons are getting through this try line, Maroon. Still 20 minutes left in the game. They've got the 32 points. You know, you can't let the scoreline get out because for and against is a huge part in this competition with how close it is on the ladder at the moment.
Pertec kick predictor, 68% for Val Holmes.
I just feel like Moses Sully's just at that point in his career where he's just really understanding what's best parts of his game, and he's really starting to dominate week in, week out at the moment, isn't he?
Expert comments there from the man we call the Paddle Pop Lion, the great Aaron Woods. Yes, Warren, I agree with you 100%.
Thanks, Silver Badger.
Len Nicodemo says, I'll come back to that one, Len. Hang on a second. Here's Val, moves in, straight, strong, direct. St George Illawarra 34, Gold Coast 4. Down to you, Brent Reid.
Yeah, Christian Tuapolotu's just left the field. He's gone straight up the tunnel. Looked like a leg injury. He wasn't overly happy. Actually, he shoved the Dragons trainer as he was coming off the field. They looked like they're having a bit of a disagreement about him leaving the field, but he's up the tunnel at the moment, so I'll get an update as soon as I can on him. And Brock Gray's back on the bench after that eye problem.
Shoving the trainer. Well, I don't think you can get around shoving the trainer. There's got to be something done about that, I think.
The trainer might have probably put his arm around and said, if you want a little bit of help, so I'm all good, mate.
No, well, I mean, you can't be shoving members of the staff. There's a short kick-off. God knows what good that'll do. Fafita's got it. He's out of 1, out of 2. David Fafita. David Fafita goes across field. He's still going. He gets a pass away to Firma. Firma gets it on to Filthy Phil Sami. Oh, they score! They score off the short kickoff. Oh, dear.
Wow, what about that? This is what you get from the Titans. You can go from rock straight to diamonds. As you said, short dropout. Brian Kelly just sticks the arm out, flicks it back to Dave Fafita, runs across field. He runs about 20 metres. No one wants to tackle him. Gets a great flick pass to Fermor, who finds our man Filthy Phil Sami. And it's just a retreating Dragons defensive line. They're all set for the kickoff, not expecting me to make a defence. And they just can't get back there in numbers.
So, try off the...
I did not see that coming, Maroon.
No. Maybe it's a comeback. Dragons 34, Gold Coast 8. While we've got a second, Len Nicodemo says, Woodsy, what do you think about Latrell playing 5'8"?
I'm very excited. The closer he is to the action, I think the more things are going to happen for South Sydney, Maroon. You must be excited as a South fan.
I'm very excited. I'm excited that Jai Gray, the little fullback, is going so well in the Dally M's. I'm excited for my Rabbitohs brothers and sisters of Little Bay and all over Sydney who are, I might add, they've only lost one game this year. There's the kick from Campbell, straight and right over the black dots. And George Illawarra 34, Gold Coast 10, down to you, Reedy.
Yeah, just an update on Christian Tupolito. It's a hamstring problem, they believe, so he's still up the tunnel at the moment.
Well, isn't that another thing, Woodsy? All the hamstrings problems at Souths.
There's a lot in the competition, Maroon, as you said with Christian Tupolito. It's just what happens with the speed of the game at the moment. It's so fast, the 6 against. You know, when you kick for touch, basically you just got to bring the ball in for a play the ball. So I know that the high-performance managers for clubs are doing their best, but that's what happens with fatigue in games.
Now, you never had any hamstring dramas as a player, but I know that in your love-making over the years, occasionally you've done a hammy.
I tore my hamstring off the bone.
Did you really?
That was from a yoga lesson.
Really?
No, not
off the bone. Dear, oh dear.
Sarah might have stretched too much.
The George Illawarra 34, Gold Coast 10. Hello, Sarah. We know you're listening. She's down in the home gym now doing some jackknives and some star jumps.
Good mornings.
What are your good mornings?
Oh, then with the weights on your back.
There we go now. Great. Don't know about those ones. I'm probably too old for good mornings anyway.
For your hamstrings and your glutes.
There's Fermor. Then it comes back inside to Mo Fortuaka. St George Illawarra 34, Gold Coast 10. 16 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Then we'll see it go from Verrills. And then it goes across to Kelly, and then Kelly tries to step inside. Dummy half, it will be Campbell who kicks from 41 metres out. Down she comes, up goes Gutherson, takes it beautifully, and then falls over 15 metres out from his own try line. No change as we get inside the last 16 minutes.
It's a big moment for the Dragons, Maroon, because the last couple of weeks they've leaked points late in the game. Something Shane Flanagan would love to see is Dragons, look, they give up the soft try there off the kickoff, but they'd love to finish the game with the Gold Coast Titans on 10 points.
Now Little. Well, absolutely. Couchman. I mean, they should have won at least one more game.
Yeah, that one last week would have really hurt. They were up 20-8 and go down and losing Golden Point 23-22. Even the South Sydney game at Wynn Stadium as well. I don't know how they lost that one.
You put that one more win to their ladder.
They're in game.
Yeah. Anyway, nevertheless, you can't go back. Jalen de Groot has it. And gets a penalty. DeBellin and Little are offside.
Yeah, these things will frustrate Shane Flanagan at the moment. Obviously, we just mentioned that he'd love to go in with a 10-point on the Gold Coast point scoring list at the moment, but they're just inviting them back down to the park. They're currently watching the clock. They're still going to continue to play good footy for the rest of the half, which is 15 minutes.
Now, it's tapped by Phil Sami. It's sent back in field to de Groot. It's with Campbell, and then it's with Brock Gray. So they've had a lot of possession in the last 10 minutes. They've had a lot of ball in the last 10 minutes, this Gold Coast side. Now Now at dummy half is Verrills. Then for Tawaka, Regan Campbell-Gillard inside the 30. Always hard to put down his RGC. Oh, little pass. I thought he was tackled. Play on. No, referee says he was tackled.
Isn't that a pass off the ground then?
Well, then it is, I would have thought. Played across for Tawaka inside the Westpac red zone. Lovely ball away to Campbell. And Campbell's going to play it 10 metres out. They've come to life, the Gold Coast. And Verrills to the right, Jalen de Groot, who's kicked it, or did he drop it? So Jalen de Groot kicked it into Beau Fermor, and it's a St George Illawarra Dragons ball. Dragons 34, Gold Coast 10. Down to you, Reedy.
I've got to say, Kieran Foran just jogged past me again there, and as I said, there's talk about him coming back, playing that Dylan Walker middle of the field type role. I'll tell you what, if they don't bring him back in the halves after what we've seen tonight, they are mad, because they desperately need his direction and leadership in this football team. So let's see what Desi does. He's got a fortnight to sort it out, but honestly, this club needs Kieran Foran playing in the halves right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with Reedy. We're just watching Captain's Challenge, and I think they're not going to win this one because he is offside. Both of them, it's hit his leg off the Groot's kick. But back to your point, Reedy, I totally agree. I think they need some direction. They need some leadership in the halves as well. For me, Campbell is not an organiser. He's an off-the-cuff type player.
The ball then accidentally hits Beau Fermor.
Yeah, they'll win this,
Harvey Norman replay. What do you think is going to happen here with this captain's challenge?
And then there's a knock on from the Titans.
There you go.
The captain's challenge is
that.
unsuccessful. It is accidental offside.
But back to Reedy's point, I think they really need an organiser there as half. And what you can do, you can put Campbell back to 5'8", and then AJ Brimson the fullback, and just let him roam. I think when Campbell's just roaming around the field, he gets more involved. When Brimson's roaming around the field, he gets more involved. He becomes more elusive. And it's just very hard for defensive systems to really shut him down.
Cook with the world's best brands at Harvey Norman right now. Get 10% off selected AEG kitchen appliances and 10-year warranty. Go Harvey Norman. So Moses Sully will get up and play it. 13 minutes left in the game. DeBellin, he might have got taken high there. He was taken high from Brock Ray. There wasn't a lot in it.
This could be 10 to be. You just don't know. The lottery.
Yeah, here we go. It was high on Jack DeBellin.
What do you reckon, Maroon? Is this 10 to bin?
No, I don't think so. I think it's ricocheted off AJ Brimson's head up into Jack DeBellin's head.
It's shoulder contact at the head, low moderate force, whatever they call it. And you know what? It's probably going to be 10
I think it is. I think now that you say it, I think poor old Brock Ray.
Let's go.
Okay, so referee Butler is calling over Mo Fortuaka.
Right, we've got direct contact. It's with moderate force.
He's going to the bin. He's in the bin. Brock Ray with moderate force. He's in the bin. So they're now down to 12 men for the next 10 minutes, and there's 13 minutes to go on the Triple M Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard.
What do you think of that, Maroon? Is that 10 to bin?
No way. No way. Penalty sufficient.
Wow. Can we get Reedy's take on it? What does Reedy think?
Brent Reed, what do you take on it?
It was a long way away from me, Maroon. I couldn't really get a good look at it, I've got to say. But you know what? It doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, they've been smashed. Hey, I want to give Lockie Ilias a rap. I was a bit critical of his first kick in this game, but I reckon his kicking game since has been outstanding. We've actually seen him run the ball a bit, and defensively he's been great as well. He's had a fair game, Lockie Ilias.
Here's Jacob Little. Thank you, Reedy, for Bob Jane. Egan goes to dummy half. Flanagan now. And big Luciano Leilua, or what did you call him earlier, Reedy?
Leichano.
Leichano.
Woodsy, mate.
Plays back to Gutherson. And then it comes across to Dylan Egan. What did I call you?
Reedy.
Oh, fair dinkum. I've had a long, long day.
Tell me about it.
I've had people working at my joint all day, and none of them did a good job. Here's DeBellin. He goes inside the Westpac red zone. He got the pass away to Little. He's got support. He gets it away to Couchman. Then Dylan Egan. And there's 3 metres out, right in front of the posts on tackle 5. Played to Jacob Little. It goes into Lachlan Ilias, who knocks it on. It's cleaned up by Jalen de Groot. And General de Groot will play it 5 metres out. And then it comes across to Beau Fermor. They're all offside, St George, so the Gold Coast get a penalty.
What about Reedy just wrapping Ilias and he just drops it cold? Fair dinkum, Maroon.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, look at this. This is getting a little bit creepy here. Devon Pillsbury asks, what is Brent Reed's middle name? What's your middle name, Reedy?
I've actually got two middle names, Maroon.
Right.
Anthony and Luke. Luke's a family name.
Anthony.
Of course you're Anthony Maroon, aren't you?
Anthony, there we go.
I might have to change that.
Of course I am, yes. Well, thank you, Devon Pillsbury. I think you need to go and just relax for a little while. Here's Alan Fitzgibbon, the former Dapto Canary. No, he's not the original Alan Fitzgibbon. Plays it to Fermor. Campbell. Regan Campbell-Gillard inside the Westpac red zone. 11 minutes left in the game. Dragons 34, Gold Coast 10. Dobbo will call that Broncos game for you next on Triple M or the Leicester app. Campbell almost gets through. And he's brought down 5 metres out on tackle 4. Quick play the ball. Who's there? Verrills. Got it away to Brimson. Brimson was hit, I thought, before he got the ball. Nevertheless, it comes loose. Couchman has it for St George Illawarra, and he'll play it 15 metres out. He's been good tonight, Toby Couchman.
Yeah, he's been great. Had a really good start to the game. Played the first 30-odd minutes, and he had a higher work rate, and he just probably got him on a little bit late in the game, but the other forwards did the job. But, yeah, I was with you, man. I thought that could have been tackled without the ball.
Yeah, I thought so too. Played back to Little. Moses Sully.
Moses Sully had a game tonight.
Why does Reedy need to have two middle names? That's nonsense.
Well, from Queensland, they have two heads, don't they? one name for each head.
There we go. Played to Little and goes away for Clemmer. And you're going to get, mate, you won't want to go up there for magic now. Someone's going to put one on your jaw. And Jacob Little. And then it goes to Gutherson. And then there'll be no one there to back you up, because if I'm with you and someone puts one on your jaw,
you'll be putting one on as well.
I'll just run. There's Ilias. That's a high kick. It's coming down, and getting under it to take it beautifully is Tony Francis, who's 9 metres out. And then played back to Brimson, and then given across to Alan Fitzgibbon. I think this may be only his second NRL game, Alan Fitzgibbon. Filthy Phil Sami, I can't remember calling him tonight. He'll play it. Back then to Jalen de Groot, who got it away to David Fafita. And he's going to play at 25, his own side of the halfway line on tackle 4. Burma. And then Mo Fortuwaka. Last play. Little chip over the top from Campbell. He chases it through. He kicks it again. But he kicked it straight into the arms of Clint Gutherson. Gutherson away. A good run from Clint Gutherson. And the King will play it on the halfway line. The quick play the ball there to Damien Cook. Cook makes 10 yards. Goes looking for support. Gets around one. No, he doesn't. They come at him again. 34 points to 10. There's no doubt St George Illawarra will win this game. It's just the margin now, really. And as Woodsy said, they just need to show some starch and some pride in the last 8-10 minutes of their game. Jacob Little. Ilias has got it. Jaden Sewer goes inside the Westpac red zone, and that's where he's going to play it. 19 metres out. Back to Moses Sully on tackle 4. Ilias now to the left. Got it away to Flanagan. Flanagan can't get away from Campbell, and he'll play it 15 metres out. It's the last tackle for St George Illawarra. Jacob Little, Ilias now, got it away to Dylan Egan, and the kid goes over for a try in, I think, what's this, NRL game maybe 3 for Dylan Egan, and game 3, Dylan Egan gets a well-deserved try, Woodsy.
His work rate's been phenomenal tonight, but he's one of those players, he's a Gerringong junior, he's an Illawarra Steelers junior, to get a try on his own home turf that he would have played a lot of games in his junior rugby league. Really good to see. But you know what I love to see off that, Maroon? It was from a great pass from Lachlan Ilias. He takes it to the line on play 4. I know they've got to play in the Sinby and the Gold Coast Titans, but he reacts. He gets the numbers right and uses his flat runner. And as we said with Valentine Holmes in the first half, Dylan Egan changes his line on the pass and just keeps the defence in all sorts and gets his first try in his NRL career. Congratulations to Dylan Egan.
Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. St George 38, Gold Coast 10. You can't frighten the Mitsubishi Triton. And I know we say it every week, but another boy from Gerringong done good. Dylan Egan, in just his third NRL game, gets a try, a well-deserved one, and they still have 3 minutes left with the player in the bin, Woodsy.
we're just watching the replay. They've got Christian Tuapolo who's got a bit of ice on the hamstring, and he's still doing the money chant.
No. What's going on with that?
Do you like that? Is that funny?
I'm not a fan of it. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Why'd you laugh then?
Well, I'm laughing because you're like an 8-year-old. You think it's funny. You think it's so funny because he does that.
You think Jerry Maguire?
I love Jerry Maguire.
You like when he does Sherman the money?
Yes, I do.
Well, why is that funny? This is not.
Well, here's a kick here from Val Holmes. Val Holmes' kick is no good. St George Illawarra 38, Gold Coast 10. Down to you, Reedy.
Yeah, well, not many Gold Coast players can hold their head up tonight, but I'll tell you who can. Dave Fafita. He's just been given a break at the end of this game. He's going to finish on the interchange bench. 16 runs, 186 metres, 9 tackle busts.
Wow.
And a couple of try assists for Dave. So he's had a go. He's made an impact.
Okay, we come back to the halfway line once again with 6 minutes left. And another shot of Christian Tuapolo.
I think he's just playing on it a little bit now.
Yeah.
For people like you that don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't like it. I mean, he's just overdoing it. Ball is batted back, straight into the arms of Jacob Little, who got a forward pass to Terrell Sloan, and Terrell Sloan's going to score off the kickoff. But I'm going to tell you, there was a forward pass in there, and it went inside from Jacob Little and Terrell Sloan. Nevertheless, 12 tries in 11 games, Terrell Sloan.
Oh, Brian Kelly's pleading with the referee to say forward pass. It was right in front of him, Maroon. It was about 3 metres forward, but it was very similar to the short drop out before with the Gold Coast Titans. They get the ball back and score straight away, but this time I think Brian Kelly did knock the ball back, and it was Jacob Little, I think, picks the ball up.
Yeah.
Very quick himself. Huge chase from De Groot that just gets him, and he's dead set Tom Brady at 3 metres forward. Terrell Sloan plays to the whistle, and he gets a hat-trick. Wow.
Dear, oh dear. Look, hang on. Hang on, we're coming back.
On in the contest.
Contest.
Okay. Look.
If I'm the bunker, I just can say there's a knock-on for how far forward that forward
We've cleared
pass
all
was.
aspects of playing to this point.
Let's see the knock-on here. Harvey Norman replay. It's touched by... Well, it's touched...
The ball touches Jaden Sue's hand. It then goes forward towards the opponent's dead ball line.
Yeah, that's a knock-on. But
Jacob Little then takes possession in an offside position.
in any case...
Decision made.
In any case, Woodsy, this is not going to be a try because it's a knock-on. We have to get rid of this crap that the bunker can't rule on forward passes. This has to stop. When that pass...
There's a lot of grey area, Maroon, if we go into that territory.
Well, but, mate, like that is blatantly forward.
Were you happy with the South Sydney one the other night, the one in the game?
It wasn't a forward pass,
there we go.
Ball is tapped by Kelly, Brimson, and Regan Campbell-Gillard. I'm talking about these ones like that are 1 metre forward.
What about the ones like Latrell that were 5?
Well, no, forward try. I didn't see it.
Ah, yes.
Inside the Westpac red zone, St George Illawarra 38, Gold Coast 10. Plays back, it comes across to Campbell. Now, you know what, at school, you would have been the little dobber, wouldn't you? You'd have been the little dobber.
I was that kid that asked the teacher a lot of questions so he didn't have to do much work.
Here's, you slowed it down.
Yeah, slowed it down.
Here's Brimson back inside to Kelly.
I needed to bring it back to my pace.
5 metres out, then you had to really slow it down. And Verrills, and Brimson, and then Campbell steps off the left, off the right, off the left again, and then coming around to take the ball off him is Kelly. 15 metres out, 5 minutes left in the game. St George Illawarra lead 38-10. Back now for Campbell to kick across field toward the corner. Up they go, taken beautifully by Fitzgibbon, but then he knocked it on. Had he not knocked it on, he was going to score a first-grade try. But Alan Fitzgibbon knocked it on, and this will be a St George Illawarra Dragons ball.
Yeah, you do all the hard work, Maroon. I don't know why we're going to the video ref, but we're going to have a look at it. But like you said,
Titans' right side kick chaser being cleared as onside.
Alan Fitzgibbon does all the hard work. He gets over the top of, is it Valentine Holmes? I think it's Val Holmes that's sort of going back as a blocker.
David Clemmer runs through the kicking leg.
Yeah.
He'll be playing on advantage.
That's going to be a penalty if there's no try.
Yeah.
As we watch the replay, Fitzgibbons gets over the top of Holmes, catches it, does a really good job actually, positions himself really well, and as he goes to reach out,
Just clearing if there's a mid-air tackle from Valentine Holmes.
And there's another issue. Val Holmes tackles Alan Fitzgibbon
Well, it's
mid-air.
already going to be a penalty there anyway because Clemmer's hit the kicker's leg.
And then Alan Fitzgibbon drops it with the line
This
wide
is a
open.
contest.
And as he goes to slam down, he passes it.
Oh, I see.
And then there is a knock-on from the Titans.
would he try
player. There will be
scoring?
a penalty for a contact on the kicker.
He's
Decision
over the
made.
line.
So we're going to go back to I think the Clemmer thing on the kicker here. So yes. Well, actually, I think the ruling is the Val Holmes tackle mid-air.
No, it's the kicker, so you get a penalty where the ball lands.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course you do. I beg your pardon. Here's Mofo Tuaka and then Campbell. And so now this is Howe, who's new to first grade. Played back then to Randall. Regan Campbell-Gillard. 3 metres out, 38-10, 4 to go. Then Chris Randall and then Campbell. And I should mention too, Chris Randall, 50 NRL games today as well. Tackle 4. Right side, De Groot. Last tackle. 4 minutes to go. 3 in from touch. 3 out from the try line. Furmore. Campbell kicks across the face of the uprights. Out toward the wing of Francis. He knocks it on. It's picked up by Terrell Sloan. He'll take the tackle. Referee's going to call knock on here. Is he saying Dragons knock on? No, he's saying Gold Coast Dragons ball, Woodsy.
Yeah, I think he's just saying it's a knock on from Tony Francis, the winger. Obviously, Sloan did get tackled, but he's bringing it back to the 10-metre line to play the first one. Bit of an awful set from the Titans there. Sort of sums up their night. Not much happening, no direction, and put a bit of a kick for hit and hope.
Okay. And now this is Jaden Sewer being taken around the head by Howe. Played then to Little, given to Clemmer now. This game will end in 3 minutes. We'll go straight to the Broncos-Roosters game. Ben Dobbin, your caller for that one. We don't want to miss a minute of the action, so we'll go straight to that game. Couchman goes through over the halfway line. Tackle 3. Play to Jacob Little, right side. To Ilias. And then to Jaden Sewer. Great win, Woodsy, for the Dragons on the back of last week.
Yeah, definitely. In the last couple of weeks, they probably had opportunities where, as you said, Maroon, they should have won. And you know, they'd be quite filthy in yourself, and you can probably keep your head down. But they've worked hard, and they've... accidental knee there from Little, but they've fought hard. There was a moment in the game where the Titans were right in the arm wrestle, but that 5-10 minute period just before half time, really just the Dragons got away from the Titans.
And of course, next week Dragons have Manly at 4 Pines Park. This is Sami. Played then to Randall and Alan Fitzgibbon. 10 metres his own side of the halfway line. He's not the real Alan Fitzgibbon, the original Dapto Canary Cronulla Steelers coach. This is another Alan Fitzgibbon. Regan Campbell-Gillard, back to Campbell. Campbell gets away from one. They're looking for a late try. And he got a little pass away to Sami, who did well to take it. And then floats a speculator out to Kelly, who got the ball away then to Howe, who goes back inside the Westpac red zone and bounces out of one and gets it back to Brimson. And Brimson's going to score. Gee, that's a good try. I mean, given they're no chance of winning the game, Woodsy, but by gee, that was a good try from the Gold Coast side.
Yeah, it's the most dangerous to look all night. Maroon just kept flicking the pass. And this is where I love AJ Brimson. And that's why I'd love to see him play fullback for the Titans. He just pops up anywhere. He's got that sheer speed. You see Jaden Campbell just drift across field. Gets a couple late offloads. I think Semi gets a beautiful one off the deck, which found Kelly. Kelly flicks it as well. It's just obviously with not much to play for at the back end of the game. Howe gets on the field, good bump, and then he flicks it to Brimson in the right spot. He's just too quick for DeBellin and gets onto the try line.
Okay, so Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard, that'll be probably all they wrote tonight. St George Illawarra 38, Gold Coast 14. Tomorrow, well, firstly we'll go to that next game, Broncos Roosters, and then tomorrow we have Cowboys and Souths live in Perth. So there's a double header in Perth tomorrow. It's a beautiful facility that over there, Optus Stadium in Perth. He's a long way to go, though, the old Perth.
There's a game in Darwin as well tomorrow night.
Yeah, we got the Parramatta-Canberra game in Darwin.
Yeah. No games in Sydney this week. G-Class, Wollongong and Sydney?
I don't, actually.
Yeah, no games.
There's the kick from Campbell, and over it goes, 38-16, 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Blake Laurie getting ready to come back in for the final time tonight. Let's go down to Brent Anthony Reid.
Yeah, well, that's a consolation prize of the Titans. At least they've kept going again. I want to give a shout out to Devon tonight. I think Devon's been outstanding with her questions.
Yes, we love Devon Pillsbury.
Highlight of the night for me, all right?
Oh, I think Devon, you know.
It says Devon's from Helensburgh. Will Reedy be dropping in there on the way home?
No, I've got to rush home. Thanks for the offer, Devon.
For a Devon sandwich.
Oh, my God. There's the line you've just crossed.
What's wrong with the Devon sandwich? Bit of tomato sauce on top.
Reedy drives one of those electric cars. He might have to drop in and get in.
He might have to charge his car.
Anyway, live ladder, St George Illawarra move into 7th position. With 45 seconds to go.
Oh.
Devon, I apologise, people making fun of your name. That's not, I would never do that. But I hope you take it in the good spirits that it's meant. And I didn't know you lived at Helensburgh, so Woody just points out to me. So you're probably a Dragons fan. Dylan Egan is on the sideline getting an arm checked. 25 seconds to go. We'll go straight to the Broncos Roosters game. Roosters in all sorts. Broncos bound for a top 4 finish. Anyway, the last play here, 11 seconds to go. This is... I can't get over that Devon sandwich comment. Here's Moses Sully.
You never tried one?
Played back to... I prefer ham, actually. Then back at Campbell. 40-metre field goal attempt. It's probably the worst field goal you've ever seen in your life from Val Holmes, and it ends up on top of the ice cream truck. And the full-time siren sounds in the background. St George Illawarra 38 have defeated the Gold Coast 16. We'll take an ad break and we'll come back and we'll wrap things up as Triple M rocks the footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
Thanks to the reliable Mitsubishi Triton, nothing can frighten a Triton.